of this web series. So we are, finish up this like little life story, of course. So it's wrapping up, what's been going on, challenges in my life, really, of course. So we have primary, secondary, and college. Now, this is the final one. This is professional. Either way, I'll put on the title, of course. So this is me working as a full-time carer, or part-time, working part-time, actually. First fully job, really, paid job. And yes, so it's an interesting thing. So last time we sort of skipped off, really, from 2014. We're in 2017 now, we are. So a couple of years. I was in limbo, actually. I wasn't getting paid at all. I didn't have a full paying job, really. So there we go, living on buying a lot of cheap lager and stuff like that type stuff, really. And I think, what do I think? I think very early 2017, my cousin, what was it? One of my older cousins sent me an application form because I know I was looking for work, really. And there's a place called Halford in Windermere and Troutbeck, actually. And done by Lancashire Home, expanded company, of course. I think worldwide, actually. I think something, but usually prominent in Britain, and specialises with disability. It's nursing, actually. It's a nursing home. It is. So there we go. So same with that, and I think in late January I went up there. And I sort of looked around, of course. First person I met, actually, was Becky. Actually, Becky Gavin, who was, she knew her cousin Laura anyway, who was a senior nurse, senior carer, actually, their team leader. Really, same with Becky, of course. Even though she was more receptionist, but she did the occasional senior carer nurse stuff. She did, and yeah, she just showed me around, and it's got notes to do with some of the stuff, actually, at that time. Actually, well, most of the stuff, it was interesting. It was a bit of a weird thing, actually, because of most of the staff were leaving, actually. A good portion of it, I'll probably get to them at some point, really. So yeah, it was a bit of an odd thing, really, but I got a nice thing to do, so, of course, and just got used to the place. Quite a big place, actually. It's about 30 odd rooms it was at the time, and yeah, it was actually pretty interesting, very interesting, because I did residential before, an apprenticeship in Staveley. Couple of years back, I did, but I only did 5 months. I did, actually, and but it's actually fully working in this is actually, and interesting. It was it. I give this main thing. It gave me better experience. It gave me work as I'm a professional carer now, really. So working residential now at the moment, but working for nursing for about nearly 5 years. That was something, actually. So that gave me a bit of a boost. That did, and actually it made me find out who I was, actually, which is something. I found my muse, I found my mojo, really. I think teen years I didn't get that. I lost it, really. I was in limbo, in like a bit of a weird lost limbo period, really, strangely, and didn't know where to go, really. But I found my muse. I really did, actually. So you sort of grown and you become, that sort of thing. So I was 19 when I first joined. I was 10, 20, a couple of months later. Interestingly, yes. So one thing as well, because I was busy doing stuff in day centre, was doing volunteer work, doing with homeless people. Usually people like the occasional people like who would probably be widowed or something else, or occasional people with dementia, really. Did that. No goodbye, really, actually. So that was like it's like no job, off we go, like that. So there's no real goodbye. That was quickly handled. That was very awfully handled. That was like that didn't take long, actually. It's like oh, you start on this date, okay, and it's like zip away, something like that. I didn't really get like a full goodbye or something, for my volunteer job or something like that. All people I worked for, actually. So yeah, a bit strange thing, really. So started there, of course. Most of the staff were most of the sort of like it was like the old guard was going down, actually, really. And I'll probably get into with people as well at some point. I'll probably just go a bit like that and see how it goes. So yeah, I mean, first started getting used to the whole thing. Of course, was taking months, really, because you had to learn more stuff. You did. I mean, again, personal care, bathing, that type of thing. Of course, hoists as well. Learning about different types of hoists and actually managing how to use slings as well. It was actually interesting. It was learn how to position people because nursing people with different conditions as well. There was people with specific brain injuries, proper muscular, deterioration, illnesses or anything like that type of thing, really. Few people, some of them are respite as well. Some of them were like there, and they sort of improve the do over time, and they leave the do. So I know a couple of people have done that. I remember actually, yeah, a few clients we had actually, they sort of recovered even after like a mini stroke or something like, or a serious accident, cycle accident or something like that. I don't know, but they ended up being, fully mobile, independent as well, and that worked. They were like very good, and marriage is still probably doing well at the moment. Carrying on normal life actually, after their sort of recoveries, which is interesting. Had a few interesting experiences with a few illnesses. I mean, we had one guy with an infection in his anus, in his arse. Very highly infectious fellow, this poor man. I think it came from Turkey actually. This is before the whole COVID stuff. So we had a major infection. We had this like weird infection with this poor guy, and I think he was in his 30s actually. Infection, the deadly infection in the bloody arse. So, oh my God, that was something. It didn't last long anyway. So that was something. Any other interesting idea? Any ones as well? Just many people with just illnesses. One guy with cancer as well. Had a cancer stuff we did. He only lasted a week. He did actually. But unfortunately, but it's all those things really strange. So 2017 I was finding my feet. I'm also really getting used to the place. Actually working in a nursing home. That was interesting. So the main thing with I was working at Hull where it was. You have to be part. Well, there's a few things actually. There's a few. I mean, I think in total for a day shift, really, if you're working like 7:15 to 3, if you work for about 7 hours or something like that, they have like. Let me think. How many people? I would say roughly 9 staff on. 9 staff on. So how it worked out was you had your senior carer on. Actually, let me think. About 10 people really. So 10 people. You had your senior carer and a nurse on, and you had 3 parents. Team A, Team B, and Team C, of course. Team A is mainly like from males. Team B mixed. Team C all female, really. So, and obviously some people prefer different carers. They prefer female carers to male carers, vice versa, just like that really. And usually worked in team quite a lot. Always work with the lads really, and that sort of thing. You always paired up with someone as well, so you always work as a team, as a duo really. Something like that. Sometimes you bring 3 people on, bit of an interesting, bit of a strange thing really. Something like that really. So that's how it worked. It did, and you got 2 people doing one-to-one. You were like one person, so that sort of thing. And it depends on the shift really, of course. So if you work days, it was 7:15 to 3:15. If it was a late shift, it would have been 2:30 to 10 o'clock. If you did like a double shift, like a full shift, 14 hours really, compared to like 8 to 8 hours. That was considered at one point actually. We meant to do like 8 to 8 hours, something like that. We were sort of like, but obviously some people had different routines of getting up differently. Some people most of them like the idea, but some people were sort of against it really. But I think it was planned down to some of our clients or residents' routines really. So I was basically again, getting used to stuff actually, getting used to everyone else, meeting all new faces as well. That was something, and it was sort of pretty interesting time. Again, new people I've known for a long time now, nearly 5 years, still good friends with them, still both people, and that's interesting. So finding my feet, and I did New Year's Day. I did actually, but since then, since 2018, I did Christmas Day actually, Boxing Day. That's what I've been doing really. Still do actually. During this year as well, making Christmas Day. It's more fun actually. It's more interesting. At least you're enjoying it with people. You have a decent dinner anyway. You get Christmas Day where you're working anyway. So yeah, you get drunk as well. I'll probably mention that later on. So I did New Year's Day for 2017. It's all like that's all like the early period really. Like you find your feet and everything else, that type of thing. 2018 comes round. Still dominant really, that type of thing, and very much. One thing also that I did was I used to be, this is interesting. When I first started, of course, I think toward, like beginning, I used to be, showing people the ropes, that type of thing, of course, usually me, because I'm more laid back. I am. If you're a carer, and if you work with me, if you get partnered with me, you'll be fine, actually, because usually more work, I'm more laid back, I'm less, what's the thing? Less controllable, less bossy in a way. I'm more laid back. I am that sort of thing, and that's what's all way because I think that's just how I do it, really, how I do the job, really. Just lay back. It's like it's fine, just chill. Make it easy for the people, really, and if they stay on, they stick on. Fair enough, really. There's quite a few people I met actually at that time, actually, that I've helped over time. But I'll probably mention them at some point anyway in the list. Got a list here, and there's quite a lot of people to cover actually. Indeed. Yes. So I basically mentioned a lot of people I did for a good portion, just to ease them in, of course. Some of them stayed on to the very end, to the final stretch, really. Some didn't last long. Some didn't last week or two, something like that. I don't know. Interestingly. Other reasons, which we'll probably get to at some point. Yes, so that's what made me go on, of course. That type of thing, really. 2019, finding my feet, of course. Again, still carrying on, ploughing on, of course. Nothing much to say about those first 3 years, actually. It's like, again, finding your feet and you slowly project you do, or, your ascent in your professionalism. You know what you're doing, you get it, of course. Obviously, staff come and go. It's a whole head's a revolving door, quite a constant revolving door when I was around, really, when I was working. Quite a lot of people, and that was something, really. At least you get on these people, you get to know them, of course, really, but some of them didn't stay long, really, and bit like that, really. Let me think. So nothing really new in a way. It's just like I can tell you on, we was just busy as ever, really. Mind our own business, that type of thing, of course. And for what I can remember, actually, really, nothing too serious or anything like that. Not really. That's when we get to 2020, and that's when things turn upside down. That's when the shit hit the fan, really, when we had the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, interestingly, before that, in December, a lot of us come down with bad chest infections, we did, and I never felt worse in my fucking life, really. I've been ill a few times. I had pneumonia once, really, in the previous installment, but to have this sort of chest infection was horrendous. I couldn't really eat or drink really at some point. You're constantly coughing, you are, and it was horrible. It was a horrible experience. I had it since probably Boxing Day, something like that, and it continued on to the new year. I was with Will Mavis and his ex-girlfriend. Really, they were at her house actually, celebrating New Year's Eve actually. Drinking, doing a bunch of party games and everything else. And it was me coughing and spluttering like fuck, and it wasn't really good. I couldn't stay long anyway. It was that really bad. That was really bad. That was, and went to doctors. I think on January the 2nd or January the 3rd, and doctor looked at me. I don't have a GP. I just looked at some doctor who was probably around their local doctors went to go get jabs and everything. It was really, well, get flu jabs or vaccinated or something like that, really. Or get health checks, and it said it's just bronchitis. It said just bronchitis. And also you give me a few tablets, and that's all these that did, really. And then we got the reports and stuff from China coming out, and everything else, this virus is coming from China, it's spreading, it is, of course, and it ended up being spreading all the way around worldwide. The whole thing, of course, my God, hit the UK like a bloody wave, that did. And everything just fell on its head, really. But I had to wear, sort of do PPE, all this washing up, all hands washing, all this stuff, all this sanitizing, this whole thing, really, visors and everything else. It was really tough, it was, because we weren't sure what's going on. It's like, is it going to be like a brief thing, really? It's like, is it going to last weeks or something like that? No, it lasted for a full fucking year. It did. Well, indeed. And you know, we was prepared. We actually managed to do all right. We did. We actually managed to get through it really unscathed throughout 2020. You know, and that was something. You know, we really worked our best. We worked our fucking socks off. We did. We really did that. And yes, that was, you know, but we did worked hard. More masks, everything else. Sanitized. We really just punched out everything we did. Really, we did. You know, non-stop. It was like on the clock instantly. Just so bad. Not a few breaks, of course, but but you know, working in a nursing home, people with infections, of course, conditions, that type of thing, and all that sort of stuff. It was really like properly so much. You know, it was again. It's like again tough, really. Like, you know, just on the clock, really. You know, really sort of hell, really, in a way. It was. You know, I feel. I mean, we're the sort of same with the nurses. You know, working hostels and stuff with the NHS. It was really that sort of, you know, just tough time, really. There's some things that sort of annoying me as well. I could probably mention this as well, actually. I was thinking about doing a separate video of this, actually, but I could probably just do this now, actually. The whole 2020 stuff, the whole Clafford carers and everything else. I mean, do that every Thursday. It was every Thursday. Neighbours always coming out, bang, bleed bells and everything else, and just people clap really. You know, just, it was like a blue right party type thing. It was like everyone was like, you know, hey, that type of thing, and I didn't care for it really. I know they were clapping really because I'm a key, you know, we're NHS key worker. I'm a key worker. I know, so I do that sort of stuff, you know, that type of thing, and it wasn't. It was pointless really, and the whole thing with Sir Captain Tom Moore, 100-year-old, you know, walking around doing for donations. I bet he. Again, I was thinking about doing a video, a second video for this, of course, but I could probably mention it here actually. I didn't really see the whole point of the whole thing with Captain Sir Tom Moore, of course. You know, yeah, he's 100 years old, yes. He served in the military, yes, of course, he's a captain, of course. But what's so special about him, really? And, you know, the whole thing about it, you know, the whole thing, I think, you know, raising, you know, I think actually, well, you know, raising it first, you know, like, you know, maybe to support the NHS, yeah, if you're doing tough times, of course, yes. But then it got really stupid with the whole thing about, you know, like, you know, like an advertisement, like a commercial dance monkey, really. The whole thing about, you know, like the whole CQ, that GQ thing. I remember seeing that, and I thought that's fucking stupid. You know, like so, like, you know, talk about his life, really, also about mentioning about what he does really, and then you got this bloody fake thing of someone pretending to be him in a tracksuit doing all these weak money flips and stuff like that. And that's stupid. And the whole thing with the whole do it Michael Ball, that can just like, God, it's really they're like it's like milking his. Come on, the Piers Morgan's life story, milking. That is milking. That is. It was really stupid time, really. But you know, I think the whole industry. I know everything was like the whole mainstream. It was really stupid. It was really stupid time. It was, especially entertainment. Really, God, managed to get some quality stuff out sometimes, not most of the time really. There's the whole lockdown, everything else, the whole restrictions, everything else. But the whole stupid thing, of course. I mean, even Matt Lucas, Potato, you know, like the number one single of 2020, or like that sort of thing. One song on iTunes, like what a pile of shite that is, you know, fucking hell, you know. But I think that Captain Tom Moore stuff that really rubbed me the wrong way. It did. Also, I think it's family and greedy. I think they're like the more interested in the fortunes, really. That's how I think, you know, I know, we use our bleed 100-year-old granddad to make this whole thing, you know, get the cash in, get the royalties, get a bit, you know. Because I look at that picture, I remember looking at it, I think, you know, it looked like a bunch of skivvy bastards in a way. You know, it's like heckling for cash. It's like, you know, they probably don't know if they live there, but look like from which council said hasn't been taught, hasn't been for years. Like this all like, you know, separated. It's like, you know, oh, you've done this, now you raise money, of course, like you're getting this recognition. Can we get in on it? We can manage you and stuff like that. That really that stuff really. And that's part of the reason why it happened really. His family prodded him with a stick really, you know, time to do stuff like, you know, that sort of thing. And I mean, he sadly passed away because he had COVID. He got COVID anyway. It's like kaput, really. And I wasn't shocked, really. It's like, you know, he had his moment of stardom. He did, and commercial stardom, really, corporate commercial stardom, money grabbing stardom, and you know, styles, but really, you know, like, you know. The fucking number one fan. Fucking hell, that's stupid. My God, you know, no kid, no, Sir Captain Tom Moore's number one fan, just a kid with a knitted doll. Right, yeah, Britain's gone really completely stupid at this point. Really, and I thought Boris Johnson was actually. I feel like the whole thing, the COVID stuff, is more it's propaganda for him. It's like it's propaganda or something like that. It was really just borderline stupid. Really tough for us, really, and tough for the people in the industry as well, so in the media industry as well. Really, we were like the full that sort of thing. Tough. I had to go through this, but pandemic stuff, shit anyway. So, God. So go through that. Of course, it's all eased down a bit actually because we were reclusive in the middle of nowhere, really. So we weren't in a city. We were high in the hills, overlooking lakes and high greenery and stuff like that. So we were actually fine with where for 2020. You know, what else? So also another thing that sort of crept up really was staff get-togethers and parties. Actually, believe it or not, 2020. So one of the team leaders was having a 29th birthday actually celebration, and she was having a garden party in a college. Where the house was over the hill, there was a row of cottages. She was like, her and her husband lived there actually. And they said, "What about a garden party? Get a marquee, get this whole thing out, and a lot of dance music and everything else. Get drunk really." So that's what happened. I think that's like the first proper time I've been to like a proper, well, not the first time really. I had one like a Christmas do with before I started Wholehead really, in 2016 actually, and but I think for the first time actually it was like probably being actually invited actually because I think in the previous years I never was actually strangely, even I was working I don't know, but they never asked me really until just this time 2020 in June. So we got together and most of us turned up. A lot of us turned up. I was sober for that day, funny enough. The only time I was ever sober, I was drinking bloody alcohol-free Heineken, I think, at that time, really. And yeah, that was something. Good time. People were dancing all over the place. People were pouring stones in people's handbags and empty beer bottles because everyone wasn't looking after their stuff properly. Lots of dancing, lots of bloody, all this sort of stuff. Trying to do signature movements and everything else, being a circle. My God, there is footage of that. There's footage of that party on the bloody tribute to Carer's Wholehead video that was edited, sorted out by the person whose birthday it was actually. So there's footage of me dancing pretty much on there. So it's like, oh God, I look back now. I didn't realise that at the time really. It's like, oh God, really? So you can call me just like dancing in a teal mockery polo shirt at the time. Funny pictures as well. But it was a good time. But I was sober, but I didn't drink. I had alcohol-free stuff. I did because I was driving with pretty few people, a few people actually, and so that was there. That was actually just a good time. Really, it was summertime. It was quite risky actually because where the college was, there was like slopes and fields and fields. There's cows as well, like cattle. Cattle just like they can literally, like you just walk out the bloody gate and you're surrounded by cows instantly. Like on roads, you see sheep with no barriers or anything else. So you're probably going to be fly back hell if you're heavily pissed. So we were safe there. We had a nice view of like the mountainsides and it feels the sun went down. It feels like nighttime felt wonderful. Decent weather as well, actually. At least I think so. We had a bit of dark clouds, a few clouds here and there, but not raining. It was actually pretty good. So that was fun. What else? So that was that really, and we just continued on really, of course, that sort of thing. Still didn't wear PPE, still wear masks, of course, but we were all COVID free at that point. So we did all that sort of stuff. Christmas came around, of course. Obviously, the whole thing, what Billy Johnson was doing at that time, all people come, we can sort of lift the restriction. Of course, people come over Christmas, that type of thing, and it's a bit of a weird thing actually. I mean, it's not too bad actually because I think that was pretty decent Christmas. There's a couple of pictures of that actually. Looking around somewhere of Ocelot. Well, he was around on Christmas Day. that was there. And I was actually planning to go over New Year's Eve with the lads from school from primary, really. And then we got going to tier 4. And God, that was, that was on New Year's Eve. That wasn't bloody New Year's Eve. And it was like, no, this Northwest is in tier 4. Please, that's in there. Somewhere like down south or something is in tier 2 or something like that. It's like, wait, what? So that was a problem. That was infuriating. I was fucking infuriating. That was, and so that was the main thing really. One thing that they actually gave us, I was quite surprised about this actually. What the management gave us was like Christmas hampers, really. Interestingly, so stuff like wine, crackers, chocolate, handmade chocolate as well, and a few bits and pieces here and there. Again, crackers. I think just crackers really and stuff like that. 2 bottles of wine, red or white wine, like cheap stuff really, which is I didn't mind that actually. It was actually pretty good. I had nice, few gifts here and there. A lot of alcohol stuff really, stuff like Prodi and vodka and stuff, which is good. And fair enough. It was nice. It was a nice little gift from there. It was basically them saying thank you for just working for that year, really, for the whole pandemic and stuff like that. But it kept continuing on. The whole pandemic still kept continuing on. It did. And obviously for the end of that year, bring 2-4. January, the vaccines started coming out. We had the AstraZeneca vaccines, and actually no, I might bring that up a little bit more because a little bit later. I forgot to mention that was quite apart from the whole bronchitis, COVID. I think we had COVID. We did really, but we probably had COVID before it became a thing. Really, like a major pandemic or something like that. Also really terrible, really. But it was like. I think that might be it. We were like the first people probably had COVID, like in the Northwest Lake District, really. At that point, nobody knew actually. So I don't know. I had shingles. I never realised what was going on really, but my bloody arms were going horribly and very messed up, spotty and messed up, and like really blotches of, very like it's like burn marks or something. It was really, really horrible. Itchy as well. Not nice. Oh god, it was horrible. It was, and shingles did. So that's the whole thing. Actually, it ended up recovering it. Actually, God, and that's all. It did leave me scarred a little bit. Actually, really. I don't think at the now actually maybe, but I think at that point, at that time, I probably did actually probably been scarred really heavily by having shingles, and that was something I got rid of instantly with bleed medication, bleed tablets. Taking them like maybe twice a day or something. I don't know, probably prescribed really. So that was a main thing, of course. And I'd be off work. I think also I sprained my arm as well. I slept on for a long time. Sprained my left arm. I did. Landed on a bloody tile floor. It did. Floor wasn't wet or anything. I just ended up actually slipping on it. I had to drive back with driving with one arm. Try and use bloody the gear shift with left arm, low down. I was more trying to drive back in a bloody bypass. Christ. Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah. So that's one thing. So we skip over. So we skipped to this year, beginning of this year. AstraZeneca vaccines started coming in. We had the vaccines, of course. I felt horrible. I did. I felt drained, ill, and just like completely knocked out. The vaccine completely knocked me out. And what it also did was it got sort of affected my immune system, and I've been tested positive actually. The only time I've been tested positive for COVID once, and that was because I had the first vaccine I did, AstraZeneca vaccine. Got tested positive, and basically, the whole COVID stuff really started spreading. I mean, some of the residents had COVID as well. A few of them had it isolated. We had to wear bloody, oh god, it was like bloody hazmat suits. We did like bloody surgical green baggy gowns or something like that. There's a couple like some old stuff, like old surgical green ones, but also there's some ones like like disposable like bags ones, like useful like it's like when they're like a weird aquamarine bin liner or something like that. Not very practical stuff really. It's a bit rubbish really. Yes, proper face masks as well. I mean, some of the ones that you use usually are okay, really, even if actually is that we had the other ones like there was like double strap on, tied on strap on. They were horrible. They were. God, really bad stuff, really. So that was something. Hmm, that's one thing. What was I saying? So I had that, of course, recovered. I've never been tested positive since then, actually, strangely. We had the other one anyway, I think in March we did. And I don't know what happened, actually. Nothing really happened in between, actually. It was like same old. Everyone cleared up from COVID, actually, and actually came out of isolation. They sort of cleared away, which is all right. And that's sort of like, oh, we're back on track now, of course. Then we're going, then in April, things shifted another gear, another fucking gear, and permanently damaged the whole reputation of the place, and it has sunk to a different low. It did, apart from the pandemic. We got posted a letter. Did mine got posted on Saturday actually? I think it came on Saturday, which is weird. Normally I don't get letters on a Saturday. You don't get posts on Saturday. It's weird that is really. It was strange. And all it said was, there's higher ups, like the major bosses from Cheshire, coming up for a visit, of course. So people like, who's the guy? I know the Scouse fellow, Tony Mulhern. He was there. A few people as well. David Steele. I think that's, David Steele, I think was the other guy, yeah. He was the main book chairman, I think, actually. I don't know. Stuff like that. And I was like, it's like mentioning about improvements and stuff like that, improvements to the home and stuff like that. We'll talk to, we'll speak to the staff, of course. Have a major big staff meeting, of course, discuss everything else. So it's all mentioned that in that letter, really. But something coined me actually beforehand, before the major meeting, and someone I think one of the care managers mentioned the lease of the house, and that sort of thought, and that gave me a horrible thought. It's like, is that going to do with something to do with the house, do that lease? Actually, are they going to renew it? Are they going to close it? Some people also thought there was going to be like a new company going to take over actually, because this company called Valerian or something. Valerian it was, and they take on a few many Lancashire homes up north and up south, I think, as well, all over the country. And so they feel like, oh, we're going to get like this new company going to like spruce up, or maybe take on it actually, maybe give it like a new lick of paint or something like that, really. And that's what people are hoping actually. People discuss it even before the big meeting, of course. People say like, this might be interesting. It might be something. It might be interesting. Well, they said, they asked me. Some people asked me, what do you think? What do you think this is going to be all about? Well, I said I have no idea really. So I have no clue if it's to do with a new company, or something else entirely. I don't know really, but who knows? When the day came, I was off work actually, so I had the day off. I think it was Wednesday. It was a Wednesday. It was April 7th. It was, and come in. Actually, it was outside. It was because they had a canopy marquee outside the house. They did on the lawn, just in the grass, where some people tend to sit outside on the benches. Really, get some fresh air, have the lunch there, have a just nod off for a bit. Really, went in. Of course, we had to be brought in to wear masks and everything else, and had to be sort of a few people had to come in once, then come out. Really, I didn't know what was in for. We don't know what was in for. Came in, of course, and they announced that the home was closing at the end of the year, or end of September actually, and that was the turning point. That was the major turning point, and it really, really done damage that did. Because apparently, what was told was the house relied on donations, and obviously for the pandemic, it always been donating, so there's no money coming into this bloody house, of course. And also, it's all helpful the lease it did. I think so actually, but I mean, I think they're meant to renew it like every bloody decade or something like that. Really, I mean, it's been sort of in there for like 60 odd years now. That been on the lease really with the council, but it was I think the side say no, we're not going to renew it really. There did some attempts really. I mean, there was some there was attempts to keep it open, which I'll probably get into in a bit. So the whole lease thing, of course, that was basically coming to an end, of course, thing, and you know, it's you know we got a letter, like a massive letter. It's very, just in case there's anything like, in terms of payment or anything else, redundancy. Do you get redundancy and that type of thing? Ideas, or maybe some idea, or maybe like a little guide to how to get another job. Really, a bit of a strange bloody thing. And people were crying. Lots of staff were crying. Some people were shell shocked. I was like, I kind of knew I was expecting it really, because I mentioned obviously the lease of the house, of course. I was mentioning briefly. It's like, are they going to close it, something like that? And actually they did. So I was quite right on that front, really. It's like, and no company was taking over, really. It was tough. It was a very, that day, that's when it just like killed it, really, in a way. So that was that. And so basically everyone was like frustrated. Basically everyone was, they had to come fully find work, everything else. But we said until end of September. They said end of September, and that's when the doors close, really. So we had our, let me think. So April, May, June, July, August, September. So about 6 months left, really, in order to move the residents out, put them in different places up and down the country. Some of them went up north, some of them went down south, some of them stayed in Kendal. Maybe a couple did, I don't know, really. But yeah, just get, we was getting rid of those, like take them, actually escort them as well, that type of thing. There were now. There was a campaign attempts to keep it open, of course. Tim Farron, our MP, aka Ginger Cunt, as I like to call him, I do, attempted to, well, there was a whole thing, of course, like you said, the campaign in the front page news in the local paper, the Western Gazette. It held this home closing. The people went out for a course and actually tried the best. Really, Farron said he would, but he never did. So the story goes, we were meant to see, Tim Farron was meant to come and see us, actually, meant to meet us and actually talk to the staff, actually, about what was going on, like, discuss about the whole closure and everything else, how it felt to us, really. That's the whole thing. He was meant to see us, really. But his management department, or his department, that sort of thing, his office or stuff like that, said he was in Westminster because Prince Philip had passed away at that point. So it was, a bit of an odd situation. And actually, he was there at the gates, weirdly, and he didn't interact with us whatsoever. And the only thing he sort of did was get a photo with one of the client's residents, who actually would actually form a bloody bike rally, really. To keep open like a protest thing with bikes and everything else, shirts and everything else, that type of thing. Keep hold of, obviously, it made ITV News as well. It went on national television, being interviewed, really, that sort of thing. Farron turned up as well. That was, going on, really. And I remember, actually, because I wasn't in the crowd. I was down below the hill, really, just like Windsor. That was the day that was going on. That was being filmed, really, being broadcast on television. Well, when it was being sorted out for ITV, really. That was it, really. But it never did anything. Farron never updated anything, really, and he never really kept up with everything. Of course, never did update. And actually, I think he said in the bloody newspaper or something, like in the Gazette again, online. Really, he said that he saved it, of course, because there was a decision. A company called some place called St. Gregor's was going to actually take the house, actually, and that sort of became, like the major point was like, oh yeah, that'll be interesting. Even though some of the track work was a bit skivvy, bit uneasy, because I didn't like a nursery. That didn't last long. Like running a bloody nursery or something, and that closed. It closed about months or a year later, I think. It was a bit of trepidation, really, but nothing ever came to it, really. And since that announcement Farron did sod all, fuck all he did. And, that started to really distrust with our MP, really, for Liberal Democrats and everything else. And the distrust of that really pissed me off a bit. And I fucking hate the man, really, now. You know, I met him a few times, of course. Decent fella. Came to my house once, actually, one time. Oh my God. You know, it was just campaigning around, of course. It's for Liberal Democrats, just a voting thing, really. Seemed German felt nice felt, really. But my trust in him just gone because he never did shite hole. And, you know, I'm probably saying a lot of people, really. You know, it was just like, obviously, I think it had maybe other things as well. There's maybe a lot of things, but I always describe him. I've said this to many people as well, many work colleagues as well. He's a publicity mogul. He is. He absolutely is. He always gets his name in his face in the fucking papers. He does. You know, even though he gets downgraded or slumped in House of Parliament, in the House of Commons, he does. Like, when he does the point, of course, no one's listening. You know, he can fuck off. You know, they don't really care much, really. You know, like, even just like homelessness and everything else, nothing's getting done. Nothing ever is, really, in that case. And he tries to make a point on, like, the government doing listen, really. And I think that's the reason why I hate politicians anyway, really. I fucking hate them. So he didn't do sod all. He claimed that he saved the bloody house. The place, he never did. The whole thing, the St. Gregor's thing, I think they never came. David Steele and Charlie Mulholland said they never came to agreement with St. Gregor's anyway. It's like because of like pricing, something about the whole thing with the council, the whole lease thing as well. You know, but nothing ever came to it. They said like, nah, the deal's not going through. So that was it. So we really, that was really, again, like, trying again, people. It's a thing. What's like, do you carry on, stay to the end, or do you just jump ship when you want to? That's what people do it actually. People jump ship, getting stuff, getting different jobs to work, or basically end up retiring, just try and find work, just do something. People have done, try and find just a way in life, really, get a paying job, really. Some of the other people who were living in the college actually from different cities actually had to find new accommodation, obviously because they can't get in the college soon. Because when that place closes, that college is going to be sold with it, really, or sold separately, really. And the thing about that college was it's mainly for people like for agency, people who are from like different cities like Preston, Huddersfield, Essex, Scotland sometimes as well. It's always been like that, really. And they basically stay there for how many days, really, depending on what shifts they've been required. Multiple rooms, of course, and like it's a thing like a little getaway thing. At least have a bed to sleep, place to eat, wash, that type of thing, really. Now that's gone. People have to find bloody ways of living now, and some people want to still live in the lakes, really. But house prices and everything else is tough around here. It is fucking tough. If you want to live in the lake, if you're on Lane Street, good luck with that. Expensive properties around here. It's getting all bloody house prices going higher and higher. You're more likely to live down south or bloody up north. More likely. Indeed. That's the thing. So that was that. So we moved all the residents out and everything else. Taken to other places. But also around that time, there was a lot of partying going on as well. Between April and August, there was a lot of partying. There was a lot of booze going on as well. So I remember this, of course, because I've been involved with this sort of stuff. Oh my God. I think like once a month, there was always been like all get-togethers, getting drunk in Windermere and Bowness by the lake and everything else. It was that sort of thing, really. It's like, are you available in that type of thing, really? And yeah. It was like, yeah, sure, I'll come along, and you might probably be there about 4 o'clock. You don't finish on midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning. It was long. Usually they take longer than they do. Fucking hell. So at that time, really, there was, I think we did a few things actually. So the first thing inkling happened in April, really. I think after a meeting we had, I got asked by a couple of few of the staff, we're going to this lakeside garden bar or stuff like that. So are you interested? Yeah, sure. Let's get changed and head back, really. So managed to get there. Didn't need anything at all, actually. Funny enough, I just quickly got changed as went to the train anyway. Got heavily drunk, been on lager, tequila, white wine, and trash Tesco's. I did try because Mum went with a sandwich. Get a few cans of beer or lager or whatever. And I remember going in, I remember going out. I can't remember in between though. That's the thing, you know. But I think I do with a vague hint I might have trashed the place by accident or stumbled or knocked into shelves or something like that. So that's one. That's probably one thing. What else? Destroyed someone's fridge. Fell in some face planted into someone's garden, became an ostrich. But like, weirdly enough, someone's edge. That wasn't really me. No bonus. That was. Oh my god. So one of my workmates trying to make a bleak chicken stir fry. He's drunk in the kitchen. Well, the other two were. Well, one of them was drunk and trying, you know, was like totally out of it, totally sleepy, and the other one trying bleed dressing in blue pajamas. My god, that was like so proper wild stuff. And here's this guy trying to make stir fry and shout at me, trying getting bloody grits and bloody bowls, colander, trying to remove hot water, boiling scalding hot water, a pan into a sink. No colander or anything else. Like, you know, it was manic. It was. That was April. May we had a get together with it. Like I think it's like a final supper thing really, but not really. It was a place called Village Inn. Had meals there. But basically we had like the whole most of the front stuff like this bit of scaffolding what there really, and came from, you know, it was good fun actually, good food anyway, because we knew one of our workmates was a chef there actually, believe it or not, worked there. So got about it, got there, and had a good time. It was actually pretty fun actually. A little bit emotional for few people, some people started crying really, you know, that type of thing. And yeah, that was something. But it was good fun. Good food there. I did actually anger some staff, some waiters, or one of the waiters from the Polish Romanian waiter, really got me angry. So not my fault really. It's like weird origin mix up or something like that. So that was that. In June, I went to someone's birthday. Hot. It was June, boring hot. It was summer, manic. I first started off, it was basically me and a bunch of women, really. That was a bit of a weird experience, really. But I managed to, you know, get through it, really. Drink a lot of beer. Me and a lot of women drink a lot of beer. Corona. Went down. A few of us catched up, like a couple of lads catched up anyway. So went to the guy bar, got every drunk, really. Did a lap dance, funny enough, one time. Got burned, got my hand burned, got covered in glass as well. And I had a nice bath, had a decent takeaway, of course. And yeah, birthday girl was like shagging someone in the bloody alleyway. Actually, I didn't find it until maybe a couple of days later. Actually, it's like, you know, I do remember that when she was forcing someone, this poor fella, this poor big bearded fella. He's probably mid late 20s or something like that. Him and his mate were just out having a kebab or something like that, and she forced herself on this poor fella, you know, making out anything else. And he kindly said, "Can you please help me, please?" And we sort of just never did anything. It's like, you know, eating kebabs is like, yeah, what's a birthday? So yeah, so she, you know, and I was talking to one of my mates actually. He was leaving actually. I turned back, and everyone gone. Everyone was bleed vanished really, and it was weird. It was, and they sort of jetted off in the car really strangely. So I was left on my own ill. That's happened a few times really. Like in the whole in the May of the last episode, of course, I was the last one to leave really. Same with this one as well. Apparently, she, you know, I didn't find her 2 days. Again, the whole shaggy thing. I didn't find her you know, about a couple of days later. That she dragged into his bloody back and give, you know, did anal with her, you know, give her anal. Well, she wanted it. I don't know about the poor fella. He was poor. He was basically stuck with her really. God, oh, that was something, you know. And oh, so that was one thing. July was in July. Boss's small care match's 50th. There, that was pretty good. There's a garden party, good stuff, floor booze. I was doing like a lucky dip thing actually at the time, doing like a lucky dip method. You know, ice buckets, just pick out what stuff there was, a couple of beers, raspberry gin or whatever, and cider, whatever, that type of thing. A couple of shots were going around, people were dancing. I had to at least sing here, Rhapsody I did. There's a picture of me doing that. No footage, thank God, but there's a picture of me. It's in the video as well. That was good actually, pretty interesting. Also, my parents met a few of the workmates actually. I've never met them before, a couple of them actually. Yeah, that was interesting. That was a good time actually. Everyone was enjoying themselves. Very like sitting in chairs, lying on rugs on the blade grass like a bunch of hippies. Really, I got flattened. Two women jumped on me, nearly, me broke my ribs, whatever. Thankfully not, really, but I got bloody flattened. My God, that was something. Like literally got jumped on, like proper like belly flop jumped on me. My God, that was something. There was that. July, August. So for August, but by the time we were finishing up, really, they announced a staff leaving do. They did on Sunday, the 23rd of August. One issue was, and people took issue with this actually, like only current staff members were allowed to come. Interestingly, and some of the staff members took issue with that, and they said, "Oh, we'll do another one actually. We'll do one a day ahead actually on Friday, 21st, at college." So went there, and it was, and it became, a bit of fun. Again, like your typical house party, really. Had a tent outside the cottage. I brought a case of Budweiser with it, just in case anyone wants beers. I think because I messaged one of them actually. I messaged the person who probably organised it. Said, we've got a lot of gin. I'm not going to drink gin all night, so no, I'm going to bring beer and stuff. So, brought a case full of beer, Budweiser. There, it was a good time. Except I felt like the whole party thing was really dragging me down a bit, really, and I felt a bit distant between everyone else. I wasn't really into it. I mean, appeared here and there, of course, maybe have a little dance here and there. It was really just coming to its end, really. I felt like becoming more distant myself, like want to make my own, really. Spent most of the time in the kitchen, weirdly enough. Drank a lot, had about like 12 beers, and I climbed over a window. I did, and I managed to get climb through from the kitchen to out the window safely. Just landing was obviously about. I landed on my feet, of course, but I jolted forward and landed on the road in the pouring rain. I did, and lying there for about a couple of minutes, of course. Hand sort of damaged, probably bruises, really, how it bloody scabs on my bloody legs and everything else. Okay, obviously came in. I think there's a couple of pictures of me like being soaked. Well, I'm soaked. I think there's a picture of me. I just come outside. Like it's like going, hey, well, I'm soaked. So that was when I had a fall. I fell the bloody road out the window. I did, and but it was manic. Just bonkers, really. I stayed in the college actually because I worked the next morning anyway. I did. I got some sleep, but I couldn't get any sleep because a couple of staff members were still up actually partying and bloody shouting me where I went. So they were like running around the bloody house, shouting, knocking on the doors. Where is he? I was bloody asleep. I was. I had to come. About 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock I did, and I was like, fucking hell. So I just stayed up there for a bit and try and sneak out and go back to sleep again. Really. So there we go. And then we come to the 23rd, which is the proper staff leaving do, like the proper one, really. So there's a bit. So the whole thing really was a bit of a shambles, really. So I was all ready and meant to go. I was meant to be there by four actually. Then I got a message saying, "Can you wait a minute? Can you pick someone up?" And maybe it's been nice. Yeah, sure. And I did pick up someone who was working, I believe, what was it, like a lovers retreat in Newbury Bridge, really. Like a swingers heaven, something like that. It's called Aphrodite's. I think it was Aphrodite's, yeah. So I had to really drive there. It was a treacherous road, wet, heavy rain. Oh, well, I'm not going to drive that road again. Fucking hell. That was something. So got there. Drove, I think about like 6 o'clock or something like that, actually. And I was like, we were the last 2 people to actually arrive, actually, believe it or not. And they were like in the middle of the presentation, of course. There was a buffet, sort of like lasagna, a bit of pasta dish, long beers. There was a couple of bartenders that they hired, of course, and it was all right, actually. I got to meet a few people, a few of the workmates' boyfriends, actually, partners, actually, which is pretty interesting. Had a decent time, good drink. I was meant to only do a couple, really, do a couple of beers, then go. But people give me shots and bleak vodka and cokes that did, so I felt like, right, I could probably take these and probably stay in college, stay over, really. Then I got bloody, dragged out to say, had to, again, being told what to do. Can you keep an eye on this person? Right, she's looking for a purse. Had to go, can you accompany her? Of course. So I end up taking take over to my college, get yourself ready, get a cashless course, and end up being taken on a night out down to Windermere. And that was a thing, really. But also stuff happened as well, actually. I probably mentioned after the aftermath as well. I had a bottle of Prosecco I did, or champagne or something like that. I had to give it away. Because I knew, because I was dragged out, so I couldn't really take this bloody bottle with me. So I'm like, shit. So I'm like, someone get that. Yeah, that, or whatever. Ended up going down, went to a place called Brown Sugar, which is a cocktail bar, and stuff happened, of course. Got myself, had a cherry beck, I bought some cherry beck or someone else, and had a beer. I did. Another thing was, had to be bloody Cape and bloody Care Manager's daughter, really. She was busy getting some stuff, so like, right, you have to go and accompany her, because I think I was a 7% getting drunk. You be fine. You walk her. You're sensible, stuff like that. So went down there, got a few things. Actually, one of my mates, she wanted asked for a sandwich in April. Wanted a sandwich this time. I said, I'll buy one anyway. So yeah, got a couple beers anyway. Actually, bloody pack of beers. So that was something, yeah. And also, when I was with her, she was busy randomly picking food up, really. Ended up paying at the end, I did. That was something. Again, yeah, I was like, well, burst in the bank for food off. So we just went, went enjoy it. Well, when I came back, actually, there was all there was some weird going on there were. Some of the staff, well, one of the staff actually was harassing one of the waitresses and calling them a bloody a slag and everything. I was like, like a really stuff like that, that sort of thing, really. But also, two of the other co-workers were this poor guy called Adam, and oh god, bloody hell. The other person came out to the daughter. She, weirdly enough, went across the road. We was about to leave, actually, Waterford, and then she suddenly turned across the road and went to this flat across the same bashing the blue windows. Oh, my ex lives here. Oh god. So I basically like, have fun, go on. So I basically went back and everything else, had a few drink or whatever, and and oh, that's one thing to another. I end up ordering a taxi for the people anyway. They end up taking Adam back anyway, so they end up kidnapping this poor fella. I think he's always mates and everything else. Like, it's no good time with his mates, and he ended up being kidnapped. He did by two co-workers. My god, and oh god. So he ended up with one of them, really. So yeah, there we go. And where that's gonna go, shagging someone's bed, really. Probably more sleeping with someone, in someone's room. Yeah, there we go, in the cottage. So we went in, of course, and I was in there for 10 minutes. So I got to the cottage 10 minutes, so I'm unpacking stuff anyway. So lad, I got a bully call, and he said, "Where the fuck are you?" From Ken's daughter, "Where the fuck are you?" That sort of thing. Like, I'm here. Where are you at? Train station. Why are you there? No idea. So I walked down to the train station to fetch her. She wasn't there. Apparently she got a bloody taxi and just, and walking down that road, that country path, there's no street lights, it's pitch black darkness down there. So, that was a tough road. That was a really tough road. So, there we go. Yes. So I went there. I was freaking furious. Shouting, cursing, bloody air. And about 1 o'clock in the morning at a train station, train station. So, pulled back, furious, had a few drinks, and I didn't get any sleep though. That's the problem. I didn't get any sleep. I stayed till 5:30 in the morning, and I drove back. Went back to the house where I'm living. I'm here now, so I've been here since end of May, really, late May. Went back and went to bed really about 6, and woke up to about 1:30 or something like that. And the person who was basically shagging out and actually messaged me and said, "Where were you?" And there was actually also some stuff like there was some weird backstabbing talk as well about her as well. Also, I had her stuff in my car as well because she was staying over, really. her work clothes and everything else. So there we go. And a close friend, her husband for life, really, well, good friend from Essex, basically got pissed off with her because, like, she should be doing, like, you should be doing, should be doing this her fucking self, that type of thing, and everything else. So what he did was he stuffed her clothes and all her belongings underneath a coffee table so she couldn't find it. Also, I got picked up a free lighter I gave to one of my bloody mates actually after I first met him. Well, actually, yeah. Also, I got this bloody lighter in my bloody pocket. Yeah. Somehow. Yeah. So I didn't get sleep. Went back home about 5 o'clock. I tried to sleep in my car actually. So before I work, it was uncomfortable, so I couldn't try. I couldn't be bothered going up and staying in the room. I tried to sleep in the bloody armchair. It didn't work because the bloody power went off, really, and we were in bloody pitch black darkness. I think the main living room area was pitch black darkness, and the bloody porch light was flashing like buggery. God. And bloody noises here and there, left and centre, like clanging. Oh my God, it was like you couldn't sleep. Bloody thing, with everything like lights, noises. No, couldn't do it. So this is when I told about 5 o'clock. Went to bed, of course. Afterwards, yeah, there we go. So. There was a couple, and there were some more details afterwards. I didn't know about this actually. So afterwards, when they told me, so when I was like, I think I was coming out actually. Well, yeah, before I was waiting for someone actually. So yeah, when I arrived actually, everyone was just there being merry and stuff like that. One thing I didn't notice was that they had a bloody photograph taken. I didn't notice until maybe a week later. Actually, a week later, I saw on the table. It's like, oh, fuck. It's like, everyone's there, most people are there, and I wasn't there. Fucking hell. It's like, missing out really. But it was really, that's all pissed me off a little bit really. But also a cat fight broke out as well. The head chef's wife, main chef's wife, and a couple of the caretaker's daughters had a massive fight. They did outside. They did, and apparently a couple of them filmed it as well. So, actually filming these people like ripping their hair out and really like proper kicking ass, really being a shit out of each other. I didn't want to look at it really, so it's like, nah, why? It's like, you can ask so and so because they actually filmed it. It's like, no, I'd rather not. No, I'm not doing that. So no, can't do that. So there, and also with the care manager's daughter, she mentioned this anyway. She shagged her ex really. So it's like, oh yeah, I went. I did have sex with him actually. So yeah, I had a quickie with him. So, God. So that was really it really, and that was basically the end of that whole partying streak from April to August really. It ended up being rubbish really. It ended up being a bit of a sour turn really, and so it's like, really, a bit of a downer really. Anyway, for me really, I don't know about everyone else really, but a bit of a downer for me really, because I started to really break away from it really, and my drinking was really like full on going then, pure alcoholic measures really. I was even drinking my car at some during that time as well. If I was doing like an evening shift, I was basically drinking bloody cans of lager outside in the car, doing breaks. So I would come back half an hour later, be intoxicated. Really, you should have been doing that, but you end up being fine. But that's what I did, really, because the whole situation with everyone else, people leaving, whole house situation, a bit of a depressing time, really. So I tried to like keep up the spirits, or just keep myself in a bit of an interesting mood, really. But there we go. I haven't done that since though, so I've sort of stopped doing that really. But God, that was something tough. It was tough times. September, nothing really happened in September. It was, like there was just meandering really, waiting to the end really, and there came a point actually that, I can't stay around longer really. So on 9th of September I left it. There was no major celebration because I've been there for nearly 5 years, and there's only a few people who'd probably give you a handshake and wish you all the best, really. I think about 4 people to say goodbye, really. No one else, really. I think everyone really left, actually. I think before I left, people started jumping off the ship anyway. At that point, it's like, last day, I'm finished for good. Goodbye. That's on Facebook or something. And, God, it's like, well, I might as well be the same, really. you know, usually on your leave really. And one with the weird thing was, you know, it didn't feel it felt like again like a downer really, because you know you felt like you could probably end the finale or something like, you know, end in big style type thing, but no, not really. Yeah, it's a bit of nothing really. Um, so I left. I ended up starting a new job on the 13th actually, so I had 3 days off and started a new job instantly. I did so did that, and it wasn't until we got we got I got a message out of the blue from one of my other co-workers on November saying, "I'm leaving the lakes. Are you available on this on 27th?" I had a look. I said, "I'll check anyway." I am actually. Yeah. So went down. So 27th of November. So it was basically like one of the co-workers was leaving. Actually, he was leaving till moving to Millsborough because he had a boyfriend who lived there. So obviously offered him a place there. So he was leaving. Have good drinks. Have a good send off. Really, that was the main thing. Really. Um, Went down. Bonus was pitch black. No lights were on. Power was out. And Storm Arwen happened on Friday. It did. It really blew everything off. It did. Like literally damaged everything. Even damaged some fencing down here. And spread bleak cans all over the place as well. My God. Lost a few fence panels in there. And found a bleak concrete post within Lob Ivy. Because most of the ivy was ripped off really from that storm. But bonus, bleak power was out. It was pitch black. Couldn't see a thing. All you could see was like bleak headlights going around, like car headlights. The power out was still full on with electricity and everything else. So we went down there. Was a place called Ship In, because one of my workmates was working there actually, being a waitress actually. So she was down there. We had there. It was packed full. The only table we got was like a chair with like one of those long tables with bloody, you know, 3 chairs. Later found a couple of small stools, so basically ended up like bloody on the floor, a couple of us really, and managed to sort out a few tables really, getting drunk. I drank a lot, I had about 6 pints of it, and it was a nice time actually. It was not too bad actually, and some half of them left, and a few of us stayed on really, but we were meant to go to a place called the Whalehouse, actually. I think after the source suggested also, I don't know. But there was a weird mix up, really. There was like some of them left, of course, and we go home, really, fair enough, that's okay. I stayed on, really. So, like, you know, might as well talk that out, you know, really. And they they got kicked out. Apparently, well, actually, what happened was they got kicked out. You know, something happened, they got kicked out. And they buggered off back to the hotel, so I didn't know what was going on, really. So, there we go. So I didn't find until as I'm recording this, Saturday, so a couple of days ago actually, believe it or not. So that was what really happened. So I kicked out, and they actually went back to the hotel. My God. I was a pissed down on this. I actually went to Tesco's. I wasn't banned after all, actually, from April, really. So I was like, all right, actually. Went there, got a couple of beers, and believe fell on a bleak construction site and injured my whole side. Injured myself badly. You can can't really see the camera properly on here, but that's heavily cut. It's still healing a bit actually, but I really sliced most of my hand. Damaged my ankle. My jeans were ripped because metal. That's all went through. Not fully through the bone, just slashed off a bit really. Lying on the right side. Still got a damage on my right side of the rib. That still hurts, still does. Yeah, and I remember looking up at my eyes and seeing this guy proper bending over, and a couple of American tourists surrounding me, about 5 or 6 people out, you know, like a group of people, really. And do you think we should call an ambulance, something like that? You know, I nearly went to A&E because of it, really. And I just sort of got up and slightly, you know, got up really. One funny thing I thought was hilarious was they actually nicely neated up my bloody cans of lager, which were spread around the bloody pavement around nearby. So I only got taken 2 and left the 2 behind, really, I think. And yeah. So that was, and I got a taxi in the end, really. But and afterwards, I sort of took loads of pain relief and said, I'm done with Nights Out. I was I was annoyed because I was left, and because I was like, honestly, a bit of miscommunication, and that's the whole thing. I was like, bloody fucking hell, It's like, as I even said on Facebook and show my bloody injuries. It's like, last straw, I'm done with that. So I'm finished. I felt like that anyway. But until recently, we had another reunion. Really, this was planned back in October. This was. I was not meant to go. Really, wasn't planning to go because of work, because I have a job and everything else, and because I do mainly night shifts to do. So I don't know what shift I was doing on that date really. So I said I'll kind of declined really at that time. When I met up with some of them on the 20th of November, I mentioned this actually. I know what I was actually doing. Shift I was doing. That's very 8 o'clock at night I did. And actually it said, yeah, you can come if you want. Yeah, you can come. Yeah, you can come. Yeah, come on, you can join us. And that type of thing. And apparently, because what they did was they sort of booked this place, this like tapas club, like tapas bar or something like that, like a cocktail bar, cocktail club or something, speakeasy, some that thing really. And you had to pay a deposit for about 10 quid or something. I didn't pay for it though because I was, not meant to be going really. And it, I felt like, I don't know. I think after I had my injuries, after my serious injury, really, I felt like I can't do it anymore. No, but then I got badgered back to doing more. Keep going. Do it really. And I thought, might as well go. Really, I mean, the aspect I can go anyway. But yeah, so it went like that really. So finished there, went there actually. So I did my work shift, quickly got, quickly dressed and everything else. I'm still wearing somebody's actually from Saturday, actually, believe it or not. From the night, really. Same shirts, really. Same jeans. So I went down there in the tapas bar. Much of them already heard about smoking anywhere. So around about half past 8, I think, about 8:30, I came in. I did. And they were busy smoking, big arms. It's like, a big welcome it was. Like, hey, how you doing? And that was the thing, really. Yeah, but it was good. It was fantastic. It was really good. I did some vape as well. I did berry flavored vaping or something. I had a good time actually. It was really good. It was, had a good time. It was a long night out. I didn't finish till about 1:30 really, something like that. So we only speakeasy for a good few hours, good number of hours because it's booked. It was. Missed out on a lot of food really. I had a passion fruit for the first time. I thought that was quite surprising. I sort of like ate a half passion fruit from a cocktail. Ate the whole thing, including the whole shell and skin and everything, like whole skin and everything else. People like, oh my god, and people are putting hands in their mouth like, no, I ate the thing anyway. But I didn't mind actually. It was like pretty decent stuff really. Had a cocktail, had a cocktail myself. Tokyo iced tea. Had beers. A few people bought me drinks anyway. Had shots, 2 tequilas. I meant to have what? I bought one because I shared with somebody else, 2 others of course, and they ended up buying me another shot of tequila. I said, have this, mate. Oh, fucking hell. So I had 2 shots of tequila and a baby Guinness, basically a shot of Guinness really afterwards. And just at Pines, we had a good time, a lot of dancing, singing Bohemian Rhapsody again. And that was pretty interruptive, I think. Kevin's daughter was doing the music really on the phone. And it somehow really transitioned to another song. It's like, oh wait, what? Oh, we fucking enjoyed that. It was like, oh, it's probably fun. It was. It was really just like a good time. It was. Everyone was in everyone was in top form. Everyone was just having a good time. They were, really just, quite a small place actually. They upstairs as well. I looked at it, think like it's a bit small in terms of availability and tables, but it's a nice place, nice stuff as well. Actually, definitely recommend trying there. I haven't tried the food yet, so I don't know. But it was good. I had a very nice time, and then it continued on because we went to bloody Bowness, which we went to a place called the Goat's Head. Well, before then, actually, we were trying to get a taxi. I thought, well, actually, the first indication there was a police car down there, not just across the road. I even asked them. No, I got badged and asked them. It's like, you go and ask them if they give us a lift or something like that. I can't ask them. The place said no. I mean, they were on duty to skip on everyone else. But it's like, it was like he was only like 30 or something. This police officer, like a hipster person, really. So it happened. because of like the amount of people who probably were going down to Bowness or whatever, I thought I can walk actually, of course, and I basically decided to jet off and walk really, because there'll probably be a lot of people probably be no room in the taxi. I got down a couple of blocks. Taxi came up. I say, get in the taxi. There's actually space left really. It's like, you're going in, right, you're going in this taxi, you're not walking down there. Come on, in. So I went down there and went to the Goat's Head now. I've been there once beforehand. I think before KMH's 50th in July, I did the 555, which is like a bit pub crawl thing, which you go like for different towns in the Lake Street. You go from one, you do like one pub from one there to another really. Or it's like you go like different pubs really for an hour. So get the next bus to the next destination, well, then go down same again really. We attempted that. We only did 2 towns we did really. So South Kendal, went to Ambleside, then to Bowness, and that was it really. So I went to this place in the Goat's Head we did, and it's quite notorious. It's a decent place. The air was rubbish. Well, first time I tried it, I think the second time I've been, all right actually. Well, the first time I went there, actually, me and my mates friend from this mad couple we did. He was like some guy called Andy. He was like a business person really. He's only like 20 actually, with weird teeth and everything. And his fiance, partner Vicky, who's from was Mancunian, into the air hostess, about 32 or something, in their 30s, I think. Something like that. They were a weird couple because my mate Will found them outside. He was having a smoke actually. It's all befriending them, and he came rushing in. It's like, I found these 2 people. Oh my god! And actually come and joined us for most of the ride of the night. It was a bit strange, and there come a point now. Some of us went for a piss anyway, and it's like, there's a little meeting point. It's like, lads, we're gonna go. We got to get away from these 2. So we literally went out the other way and run down the street, down bleed back alleys or something like dead ends or something like that. It's like, maybe go that way. We went straight out to the promenade to the bloody boathouse we did, and stayed there. We even told the bloody bouncer that, to keep out of this weird couple, of course. And she sort of laughed it off really, but it's like, oh, it's one of those weird things really. But that was something, that was a weird experience really. I was in them anyway. They probably just come back to their own place really. Surrey, I think everyone's Surrey around there they come from, I think. So coming to the Goat's Head, I was basically shitting myself actually, believe it or not. I was really like, oh god, fucking hell, because they actually beforehand, of course, a few hours ago, they actually referenced the Blee Swingers as well. They're sort of, very sort of, because they kept going to Sambuca, they did actually, that mad couple. And then Blee and they actually, oh yeah, last time you mentioned about, Blee mentioned the Blee Swingers, didn't they, to me? Oh god. Thanks for reminding me, fucking hell. So went down, so basically went down there. I didn't know they had a Blee downstairs dance spot downstairs. I didn't know that, like in the basement area. So we were down there quite a lot actually. Had a good time. I actually did a bit of dancing myself and stuff, getting drunk. Really, I met a bunch of bald blokes, skinheads actually, skinheads, bald blokes. 2 one guys, one's called Ben. Like one's chubby, bit sort of bigger. The other one's skinny as like a skeleton really. Just met them. I think we just started chatting because I was like seeing tables having a drink. We sort of just got chatting really. Came here and there, had a decent chat actually, had a decent time, decent talk actually. Even bought me a drink actually. I think it was Coke and gin. That was a bit of an interesting thing. Strong it was, my god. Coke and gin, not the best mixture, I'd say. Rum and vodka is more the obvious one. Gin, pills don't taste really, to be honest. It seemed pretty pleasant. Although they did say they did drugs actually, they're snorting here and there really, but not when I was with me. Not really, I don't think so. But they said they did a few from time to time really. Who else? Met a few couple there, picked a couple as well. Indeed, did a thing playing snooker. I think it was like finishing playing snooker or something like that. Was just talking really, and some little girl. It was going down actually. It's all bumps there really. Yeah, that was interesting. That was something. So I went there. Of course, I'm basically finished really. Basically just finished off really, and it was a good time actually. Got a taxi in the end, and went back home really. one of them, bloody hell. So when I went home, I got hungry, so I ordered some fries actually, and it was like street fries. It was like some bird's eye street fries, and it's like beef, like some like a beef stuff with chips, space microwave chips. Really, I ate there really, and got a message from one of the co-workers, and he says, "You're coming to Aphrodite's." Well, like 2 o'clock in the morning. No, I'm not fucking going there. I just got home. I'm eating. I posted a picture of it. Said like, well, no, maybe in the summertime, and plus I'm eating. He sent me a bloody little clip, like an 8-second clip. He starts singing in the summertime by Mungo Jerry. He said, "Can I have a kebab?" It's like, oh fuck off, mate. No, God, no. And he tried calling me as well when I was in bed. Actually, when I was sleeping. So, God. Problem is, I missed him next morning anyway, because I remember calling him a bloody nonce. I did, because he bloody asked, what was he? No, because I asked for a pint, didn't I? Well, yeah, because he was trying to drag someone to dance, really, they're not bloody pint over on someone's bloody skirt. So I'll call him stage and call him a frigging nonce. I did, like. I was drunk, so yeah, so that was something, yeah. I was blessed out. And yeah, that was one thing. So yeah, and you can't remember the thing. He said, "I don't remember last night. I don't know what happened." You did a lot of dancing, you did. And you just enjoy yourself, really. So there we go. Really, I'm not sure about the others really, but they enjoyed themselves. Wild time. Everyone was on good top form actually, and it was really good. A nice way to celebrate and end off with a party actually, end of the year, which I also. They actually mentioned there's going to be some more plans. There's going to be some further plans next year, in the new year. One in the summer, like a picnic thing or something like that, in the summer, and another Christmas party thing. So we'll see. A bit disappointed. I don't think that's all. One thing that disappointed me was like not many people there, because you usually have the other regulars as well, like some of the other caretakers, one of the caretakers. A few others never turned up. Actually, I was quite surprised because they said they were going, but they never did. Really, so there you go. So all right, and that's really about it, really. But we're still together. Well, we are family, really. To be honest, it's like a second family to you. Got your main family. You got, I've got my friends from primary, of course. We're close together, of course, and then I've got this other one, this other family as well of carers, people from wherever, like mixture from British, Romanian, Czech Republic, that type of thing. And yeah, it was a good time, and I think we sort of classed ourselves as a family anyway, because we were quite close. We sort of get on well, because how we obviously everything was closed really, so we just get together for reunions, get drunk, and have a nice time and a wild time. I know they can get pretty heavy. They can be wild. They can be long and wild nights. Yeah. So there's them two things. So next year's sort of in the works really. So God, so there'll be more reunions galore. This is gonna be like maybe I might do twice a year. It's like maybe do once a year. But I think someone said to me, "Well, we need to do more than that." It's like, oh my God, I'm not sure my liver will take that. Well, I so jokingly say I don't think my liver will take that. Well, I don't take much more really. I don't know. I can handle it. So it leads on a positive note, it really does, and it's still going on. It's still ongoing. It's an ongoing thing. So that's reunions. That's going to be still carrying on. In terms of with Wholehead, really, Wholehead, the reunions, everyone's going to get together, drunk, really have a good time, just be batshit crazy, and it leads to all sorts of places. At least with my friends from primary, and of course a few of the mates who come on joined. If we have a safe night out, we always respectful lads. When you're with this, it's completely opposite way. It's the opposite direction. Stuff happens. People find love in the most awkward places, and the most unusual positions, heavily drunk, fights, all sorts. It can lead to anything it can do, and but it's what unique. It's what unique about it, really. It's very unique, strangely. So yeah. So I think the last thing to really do is talk about the people, really. So I've waffled nearly an hour or so about the whole thing, of course, the party aspect, the whole timeline thing, really. But it's not about talk about all these people, a good portion of people actually. So I'll probably breeze through these. Okay, so and these are actually not about the birthdays. I found a bloody COVID thing actually, like a results sheet with all the particularly dates on or anything else. So there's some people who probably been and went, and I'll probably mention a few people as well. Of course, I'm probably on this list anyway. So there we go. So first of all, was Pauline Witt. Old nurse. She's quite a veteran nurse. She is. She just retired this year, actually. You know, wonderful girl. She's from Sunderland. She is. Well, yeah, Sunderland. Yeah, very northern last year's. Great, very fun. She's respectful, loving, caring. She's wonderful. She's wonderful. Great time, Pauline. I've known her for a good number of years. She's wonderful. She is, Pauline. All the time goes well for her. Absolutely. Amanda Healy. So she came on towards the end of Wholehead, actually, and she's always been good. She's always been like animal lover, owns pony. She's into equestrian type. She's also into spiritualism. She is, interestingly, and we had a few situations where we were packing sewing stuff out, emptying the main library, and that's been haunted. It's rumored to be haunted. It was like at the time with ghost children. And she had a way of funny feeling actually, and she panicked. She did, and she felt like this presence really, and she walked out and started rubbing crystals on the back of her neck. Really, she believes in this sort of stuff. Gets a nice little pocket bag and rubs crystals on her neck. It's against whole spiritualism thing really. But she's great. She's from Preston. I think she is. I think she's moved back. She sold a property actually recently. She was telling me, I think. But she's great. I've always gone well with Amanda. It's interesting that we never worked much really, even though she just how it is really. But she's pleasant. I always gone well with her. Estelle Law is next. She was one of the nurses actually, not the senior care, just a nurse. They're like, you had your standard RNG nurse. You had your team leaders or seniors, but you had to doubles really. But you had your nurse. Estelle, wonderful. Interesting enough, she knows stuff from what mum and dad does really. She knows about my dad's first dates, which is surprising actually, because I think she's only a couple of years younger than him actually, strangely. Yeah, it was quite shocking, because my dad actually met her recently when we dropped to the Caroline's 50th actually, and she said she wanted a lift really. So she got to know my parents really, and and she obviously talk of course, and then she kept pointing when we saw drop, so she kept again pointing stuff like that, like used to be no pharmacy, and my parents used to own that, of course, that type of thing, of course. And it's interesting because she was sat next to my mum as well. That was strange. Wonderful, going well, fabulous, wonderfully, just going well, absolutely. And she mentioned about my dad's first day. Oh my god, I felt like, oh my god, Estelle, oh god, I felt like shit, my god. It's like, but it was so cool about it. It was fine. She was doing well. I met her just a couple of days ago, like previous nights on the Christmas do. She's wonderful. We had a good time. We did. Riley Batty is next. She comes from Preston as well. Indian lass. She's about, again, so probably that sort of thing. She's wonderful. She's great. I'm not sure about where she is now, really, but wonderful, kind. Always had a bit of issue with her legs, really, operations, really. But she's wonderful, she's lovely, caring, fantastic she was. Rani, wonderful, great to work with. She was, because I've known her for a long time, I think since I first started actually, same with Estelle, and maybe Pauline as well actually, I think. So known as well for a good number of years. Cindy Hopkins, she came on, I think 2019, I think actually, or 2020, I think. She was another nurse. Didn't stay long actually, but she was wonderful, got on well, very sort of quiet, a bit, bit nervous, really, a bit timid, really. And but she was great. She left. Bit of disagreements, really, I think. Julian Walker. I met her just same again on the Christmas do. She's interesting actually, because she's very sort of a bit has that sort of scatterbrainness to her. She's loving, but she has a scatterbrain thing about her, really. Yes, but she's wonderful. She's caring, means well. I was going well with Jill anyway, really. Something. But I met her when a nice good chat we did. Had a good drink. Yeah, it was actually pretty good. Nice seeing her again. I didn't expect to see her there actually. I thought she was like, she is at St Gregory's now. She's working there, which is all right. Sophie Neld is next. Sophie, I've known for years. Good old Soph. Good number of years. New Zealand origin. She's from New Zealand, I think. She originates from New Zealand actually. She's great. Very cynical as well. Has that sort of good funniness to her. Very sort of moaness to her as well, but she's funny. She's hilarious. She's wonderful herself. I've done her for a good time. Had a good time, really. Again, she was the Christmas pie as well. Just had a good, wonderful time. really good stuff. Yeah, probably still see her more again. I think we met again. Met in November, we did, in December. So I had a good time having drinks with her, really. This was Marian Gospinov, Polish fella. He came on. I think he came on 2019 as well. He came on briefly to do days, but he mainly did nights, really. So I didn't really see him as much. You see him on, like, if I'm doing late shift, I see him. Didn't say much, but I always said hi to him. Always going well. I think last month, actually, recently, he showed his true colours. Actually, gets on well with male carers, male staff. Female, no, he doesn't. Treats them like shit, apparently. Well, I got told. So that was something. That was a bit of an eye opener for me, really. It's like, fucking hell, really? Like, well, he's definitely showing his true colours. Apparently, saying so, really. That was Gary who told me, actually, in November. Yeah, it was like one of the first things he mentioned. You don't marry Anne, did you? Like, no. Or like his absolute arsehole or something. So, yeah. Okay, so basically, she, really absolute worst with the women, towards women, really. Male carers, he's fine with. Females, no. I don't know why, really. There we go. Dina Kane's next. She came on 2019. When I first met her, actually, I didn't really see to eye as much, actually. But over time, we've, gone well with each other, really. She got some calm for she does, and she worked on like independent home care or independent care, really. She was a team leader. She was very good, she met well, of course, had a good straight lace as well, headstrong, like everything else, really. But she was wonderful. She's great. She is. Again, met her at Christmas do as well. Had a good time. Wonderful. Jess Miranda is next. Interestingly, he was one of the original members, really. One of the few people, actually. He sort of left before I joined, actually. And one of the reasons he sort of just came back, he came back in 2020. He did? Yeah, 2020, yeah. Because obviously, pandemic happened, of course, and he was busy. This was chef he was. Well, obviously, hospitality, that's all seized. He still had to come. He went coming back, actually, and work for us, really, until the end, really. Or when he finished, really. Don't know. I don't mind Jess. He was all right. I don't really work for him as much. Filipino from the Philippines. He is great guy, nice fella. Always wears a beanie and a cap. He does. Doesn't take off anything. He's bald, yes, but he either wears a beanie or hat. I think he wears a cap when he works. When he's finishing work or driving off, he wears a beanie. Fair enough. But he seems to be doing okay. I think he's back doing cooking, really, back in his chef role, really. Next is Hilly Smith, another one of the team leaders as well. Wonderful, batshit crazy Hilly was, my God. She's great. I used to make her scream sometimes. She, unintentionally as well, sometimes. And but it was really, really good. She means well. I mean, I met her again the Christmas do just recently, actually, and she's doing well, wonderful. Just have a good time. So she has that sort of craziness to her, batshit insaneness. She does, literally, like wide-eyed insaneness. She's wonderful. She's great. She is. She has a reason for everything she does. I think she's told me I always have a reason for anything. That's what I do. That's what the things I do have a reason why. Something you can make a bunch of to do a book about that. So jokingly do that sort of thing. Oh yeah, but she's wonderful. Yeah. Emma Connolly is next. I met Emma when I first started, actually. So she was starting as a nurse. She then moved on to care manager. She did. So she's wonderful. Kind of caringness, has that sort of authority style to her as well. But she means well. She means well fantastically. It was a 50th I went to in July. It was a 50th, actually. So, but she's doing well better again as well. The Christmas do. Really good. Absolutely. This means more caring. Again, because I worked for those number of years, really, because we both started together, really. Who else? Sarah Harris is next. One of the other nurses, original nurses as well. I think when you work with her, she can be a bit off kilter, really. It's like does the wrong way, a bit, yeah. Don't really care as much. I think when you hang about with her, sometimes have a drink with her, you sort of get to know her more better, really. When you has a drink with her, like, yes, probably. When you see her just like working, she can be a bit, yeah, okay, like that sort of thing. Very sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Deadpan. I don't know. Less enthusiastic deadpan. I don't know really, but I know some people complained really. A couple of people, I'm not too sure who the people were, but some complained really. But there we go. Julie Garnett is next. Julie, she come from Barrenfurnish, she did, and she was a she served in the army. She served in the army or navy, one or two. I think it was the army actually, and she was a bouncer, really, for a female clubs, and a job at the bloody job centre in Barrow, and then she got recommended here, and she came on board really. Julie's great. I worked with her a good few times really. Speaking of which, where's that? She made these. These little. She made it herself. She makes her own homemade stuff really. Made this for us actually. I think doing last year actually. So yeah, that's what it says. Nice. It's faded a bit. It needs to spin it for years. I've used it quite. It's been on keys for all the time really. Sort of a symbol to remind me what I am really, and what I've done at the time really. But that's nice. They're like plywood and parts. They're all thin things. Quite just not bad actually. Just made of wood really, but lovely they are. Indeed, meant for all people really. Wonderful. She's all quick. I think no. She sort of she fractured her hand. She did right hand doing a hoist really, and she'd never really come back actually. She came briefly just check just to check with the management or something like that really. But that's the last time I saw her actually. She was wonderful. She was Julie. Always going well with her. Had a nice time work for her. Had a good laugh really. It's good. She's doing like a whole lot of homemade stuff. She is in Barrow, so make a little business out, make a little business type thing. Good for her. But she has a creative mind, creative juices. Go with it. Still friends on Facebook anyway. I think a good portion of these people I'm still friends on Facebook anyway. There we go. Next is Mary Mabula, Nigerian woman. Mary, I think I met her when I first started as well. She's great. She means well. She's wonderful, caring as well. She only did night shifts. She did night shifts. Usually she never did day shifts really. But she's great, wonderful, loving, caring woman. She's wonderful, Mary. So wonderful. Liliana Zora or Lily or Lil, I call her. Polish. I think the other Polish person ever really. I think the one she was around for a couple of years before I started actually. I was going well with Lily. A lot of people didn't. They hate working with her really. Just a one thing really. I know a few people complained actually. I remember a few conversations like I ain't fucking work with this woman or something like flat out, saying no, I'm not working with her at all. That type of thing. And it's like, oh god. And Bar was going well with her. A lot of people was like, yeah. I think one thing that sort of annoyed a lot of people was her banging about Spain because she had a home in Spain, and a bloody man Alonso as well, who people thought she had a imaginary boyfriend and probably lived for a month or something. Really, complicated. I don't really know actually, but I think I don't know. People so assume that she lives on her own. She lived with her brother in Sebra actually. I noticed. But I don't know really, but who knows? Really, she left. I think she left beforehand. I think maybe a month before. I think just to Poland, Spain, really. See how it lands though. Who probably isn't there really. I don't know. Maybe just a friend. I don't really know actually. But that bangs on the bloody about Spain, Madrid, and that sort of stuff. My God, it gets. I think towards the end, it started getting bloody worse, really. But I still care a little, really. Still messing now and again, still messing me sometimes. Fair enough. Yvonne Jeffrey, originally was Yvonne Quinn. One of the other late additions to the whole troupe, really. She comes from Troutberg. She's interesting. She's always interesting, very artsy, very sort of. I don't know. I think she's very interesting. She's loving, caring, fantastic. Means well. I've always gone well with Yvonne. Absolutely, she's wonderful. She's fantastic. She is. She's a vegetarian. She is. Adores vegan, and also a bit of an activist as well. So there we go. Love animals, of course, that type of thing. Indeed, but she's wonderful. She's great. She is fantastic. Last time I saw her would have been at the what was it? Leavers Do in. No, it wasn't. No, last time I saw it was my last day on September the 9th when I left actually. So she was like the one. She was one of the few people actually finished. Like last people actually on the very last day really, which was September 14th. So after I left, it only closed a few days afterwards. It did. So she was one of the last few people actually stayed there really. Same with Sophie as well, and yeah, I think that would have been like again the few really. So there we go. So yeah, but they've all been fantastic. Really, still in touch with. She only has Instagram really, so there we go. Doesn't Facebook really, but I was surprised that she didn't turn up really. You know, she didn't turn up to the Christmas event really. I thought like she said she was. I think she said she was going. I didn't go anyway. It's like shit. You didn't go. Shame you're not going actually. I thought she'd be there actually. Unless she's been there before. I don't know. She might have stayed there for an hour or so. I don't know, but I don't know the main reason actually. But unless she was working, I don't know. But I never saw her. So there we go. That's one. Patricia for Trish. Bloody hell. No Trish for a long time. I helped her a few things actually. Believe it or not, there's a few more things actually. Deal with a lot, drove her a lot of time really, like bloody chauffeur around sometimes to pick up from work, you know, take it home type thing. I helped to boost her confidence for her driving actually because she hadn't driven for 8 years. Still had a bloody Toyota Yaris. The last time she drove, it bloody went in a flood and she just put it off completely for about 8 years. So she's bombing around in that bloody car and you know, driving around of course. Bloody talks about relationships sometimes, basically for one of her exes, main ex really, trying to make sense of it and trying to give her a bloody relationship advice or something like that. And nope, I don't really do relationships. Well, not anymore. I'm in one, so no, I don't care for that. So, but she's great, wonderful, fantastic. When did I see her last time? The 21st of August. Last time I saw her, really, she was there. I saw her briefly actually. She was in the tent, so had a good time really, and didn't go for the state leavers do. She did. She was meant to go in November for the 27th of November, but never turned up. She asked me if I was going. I said yes, I am. That's brilliant, fantastic. Never turned up. I don't know what happened there, but said that she got a new boyfriend or something. I don't know. Or new man. So Gary was telling me. I don't know. Who knows? Estelle was meant to go as well, but she said she was too old. Really, God. So that's a bit. She'd probably make an excuse for that. Really, we just haven't been up a decent time really. So that was Trish. Oh, she's doing. She's working in Alston actually. Yeah, there's no one Alston really. She originates from Middlesbrough. She does actually, but she's been here for a good number of years, long time actually. Indeed, great woman she is. You know, has a bloody dog named Louie, which apparently my cousin Laura gave to her actually. And a bit of a psycho that is. First time I met the bloody thing, it's like, you know, barking at me, looking at me, staring at me, and barking and growling. And said, "Oh, you can give me some treats." She's like, "You fucking what? Wait, what? I'm not going to wait." I was surprised. Like, I'm not going to feed that dog. That dog's got his ground, his teeth stick out, everything. It's like, give it treats, it'll be fine. Like, oh my God, Trish, you're an absolute nutcase. You are. You're fucking insane. You are. I felt anyway, the sort of gentle. He's sort of gentle. He's gentle in a way, sort of settled. Louis, he has in a way. Last time I met him was in April, actually. Really, that was last year when I first met him, and like the same since like April, really. You know, sort of settled. He has. You know, obviously stuff was happening. Chaos was growing in the house, really. So there we go. So right, there we go. There we go. Judah Highland is next. Judy, she was the care manager. The sort of ritual care manager. When I first joined, she was there. She only been there for a year beforehand. Judy. Isn't Kendall anyway. She's always been a controversial figure, she has, Judy. Largely because of like multiple people, multiple firing. She never go with multiple people. That led to a lot of conflicts, infighting, and people just leaving us and going off. Had enough of her attitude really, or the way she was speaking really. Quite a lot of people actually were like, I think quite a few people were like that, and they basically say, "Oh, Judy, it's always Judy, always Judy." So I've always been skeptical about her, really, in a way. So I imagine she was at the Christmas do anyway. The last time I probably seen her was actually on the Leavers do. But also, she's a bit of a rubbish navigator because we're trying to get to Cheshire and drop a resident off and get lost on the bloody motorway, really, on Cheshire, really. So there we go. So yes. Not, you know, but I don't mean to interact with Judy very much, really, but I know a lot of people have a bit of grudges against her, really, because, you know, all the way how she's treated them, really, how she's really interacted with them as well, how, you know, we get on with each other, that type of thing, really. But I've always been skeptical about her, but I sort of just go with the flow, really. I mean, she's pleasant to me, yes, but I just really speak to her as much, so much. There we go. Simi John is next. She's one of the other nurses. She didn't usually does night shifts, really. I met her when I first joined. from India as well, another Indian woman, of course. She's always been nice, really, to me. Pleasant, and yeah, made something. Let's say last time, actually. I think it was when I left, actually. I think September 9th I saw her last time, I think, really. But she's always been alright. Sammy's always been good, you know. What else to say about Sammy, really? There we are. Christine Ondo, another Nigerian as well. Again, does night shifts as well. I was going with Christine. She's wonderful. She is. Well, same with Mary. They always work together. There's always them two work on night shift. Really, sometimes she's somehow related, or with what's his face, Alajama, who's part of the Liberal Democrats. Funny enough, he used to work in Holland. Funny enough, I didn't realise that until he worked for about 5 years. And his pictures are proving that as well. I was like, wait, what? Are you serious? It's like, my God, like everyone, the bloody mums around here, some like people in Burnside probably worked in Holland. Really, I think I met a woman once in a cricket club. Actually, I said, I used to work there as well. Actually, it's like it's like basically everyone. Really, it's like everyone who works at the croppers. Really, it's like working around them. It's a weird, strange thing, really. It is. I didn't. I mean, one of the Liberal Democrats, or one of these sort of newest ones of the bunch. We have Tim Farron's bunch. Was a carer. I didn't know he worked there. My mum was surprised as well because she knows him with because he educated his two kids, really. You know, that type of thing. You know, but yeah, small world. Small. It's very interesting world, really. There we go. Vienna McIntosh. I know Vienna. I have been there for a good number of years, maybe 12 years actually, believe it or not. Scottish woman, wonderful. The sort of music fan, the rock chick she is. You know, go of attitude, headstrong. Someone you don't really want to mess with, really, but she means well. She's wonderful. She's great. She is. Professional, veteran. She's wonderful. Been a few drinking sprees with her sometimes. You know, met her at the Christmas do as well. Indeed. She's doing okay. But she would last time. I think actually we were the ship in. She was working there actually, and then afterwards, it was the Christmas party we was had a good time really, had a fun time. I think she left early actually. I think so. Or I don't really know actually. Did she? I didn't really say go. No, I didn't say come with us. No. Interesting. There we go. But she's always great. Always going. Always going. That type of thing. Music's always been like one of the talking points really between us two really. But she's great. Wonderful. Next up we've got is Gemma Roberts. Gemma. She come on 2019 as well. Really, she's always been interesting. She's more pleasant, really. She's always been associated with like doing one-to-one with one of the residents, of course, who made the headline news. Appeared on the Bloody ITV News as well, doing the whole protest thing. Of course, she was sort of the main carer, improving everything else and improving his independence, really. That sort of thing, and that's what she always really talked about when doing work, really. So Gary said, of course, but actually when she's not working, really, she's always just talks about just again normal things, really, to be honest, But she means well. I've always gone well with Gemma anyway. I don't know where she is now, really. But who knows? But she's always been pleasant. There we go. I haven't seen her probably since she left. Actually, she's all disappeared. She went completely. Cause she did she wasn't bang. She was so she did maybe once a week or two days a week. I don't know, something like that. When she was needed, really. So there we go. So I haven't really seen her since, really. Sonia Johnson is next. She is from Barrow as well. She's one of Julie's friends, actually. She's a landlady as well. Runs a pub with her husband, and yeah, it's very interesting. Sonia's great. I haven't seen her probably since. When was that? Maybe early this year, I think, actually, because she had an issue with her ankle or her leg, actually, and maybe had an operation or postponed operations. So she'd been recovering, actually, for a very long period of time. She came back to work with us, really, but never came to be. And obviously, shame, really. She obviously never appeared. Did she? I don't know. I'm not too sure. Did she appear was she there at the 31st? I don't know. Was she? I don't know. I literally have no idea, really. Much about Sonia. I don't know. But she seems to be doing okay, really. But I don't know. I haven't seen her for a long time. Probably since early this year, actually. So, but she's great, fantastic woman, means well, really good. Best friends with Gaz anyway. And it really, again, solid people, really. And friends on Facebook, and so that's good. Who else we got? Vanessa Walden is next, Jamaican woman who's married to a Polish man named Albert, has a son named Christian, of course. Vanessa, if you're someone who's completely caring and loving and completely blessed with Lord and feels she's a woman, she means well, good advice, always has words of wisdom. She does. Fantastic she is. I think was she around that time? We first made her like at the beginning in 2017, didn't we? I think so. Or she was there before. I don't really know. Actually, I think it was at the same time. I don't know. She was there. Wonderful, wonderful last year's. Where did I saw her? When was it? It wasn't the staff leavers too because she came early. She brought Christian and son along. Didn't see her then really. So I don't know. Maybe something like before she left actually. Maybe I don't know. Maybe one of the shifts really that we're working on. I don't know. But she's amazing. Still there. Still friends on Facebook. Still keep in touch. Really, we always do. Christopher Moss is next. It's David Ladd as well. He was one of the last people who joined the whole trip. Same Amanda. They started early this year. They did, like the beginning of the year. They did. Chris, fantastic bloke, really good. I think we really found the music together. Because we've been out a good number of times. We really just have a good time with it. Obviously, took a while actually because I didn't really worked with Chris as much really. Maybe like we just tried here and there. Obviously, off the offbeat if we don't work as much really. But obviously, we had a good time. Wild time, of course, on the night side. Christmas do recently. Obviously, the very recent one. We was like busy, having a good time, dancing, partying, whatever, getting blackout drunk. It was amazing. It was. He's a great fellow. He is, Chris. Amazing. He's at university doing occupational therapy. He is. So there we go. Because his housemate never told me. Of course. Yeah, well, he's fantastic fella. What else? So where was he at? He didn't come at the Slaves Done 23rd. I don't think he came in the August ones. He was at MS 50th anyway. He was there, and he come for the Christmas party anyway. He did. Didn't come on the 27th of November either. So there we go. But it was again really good stuff. He's a nice fellow. A really great fellow he is. Fantastic, Chris. Kelly Noble is next, or she was known as Kelly Tassie when she first came. Girl from Huddersfield. She originally comes from Huddersfield, actually, and just ended up in the Lake District to escape. Well, I think she got separated from her husband, actually, so she ended up coming down here. No idea where to go, really, but ended up working here. Ended up here. She worked for a company called Keystone because in 2019, she came in 2019, she did. Because we had a bit of a staff issue, which I forgot to mention that I nearly left. In 2019, I nearly walked out as like, fuck it, I'm quitting this job or something. Because I know, because some of the agency we had were useless, really. They didn't know what to do. They didn't have a clue what to do with the health care thing, really. I was like, and I was frustrated, really, and I nearly walked out, really. So they brought in this Keystone agency. Most of them didn't last long. Still nice people, of course. Great to work with, really. But tensions blew, and three of them didn't last long. What's her name? Andrea. Something with A, I think. There's one called Mel. There's one called bloody. Who was that? What's her name? I don't know. Filipino one. He kept brought a dog in. Brought a bloody dog in. There was no pets allowed apparently, or something in college. So she got banned, I think, something like that. And obviously Kelly turned up last, of course. And she stayed on. She became a full permanent member. She became a senior carer towards the end anyway. And then she left. And obviously working now, sewing hot tubs out. She's having a caravan with a Spanish lass. She originally worked after she went to Afghanis in bloody Newby Bridge. That's where I picked her up actually. That was the person I was picking up actually. Yeah, it's interesting. So she's from Huddersfield, Yorkshire lass. She is. If you look at her, she's well, let's scrap. She's a goddess. She is fucking hell. I never actually, preferred, if you see me with someone like hang about with her, you think you've really taken a different league now, like, really, because you see here, she's like goddess material, she like proper goddess. I'm just being, well, I'm not in love with her at all. She's a good friend, good drinking pal, she is. Always get on well, have a nice, good, pleasant. She's always pleasant and lovely, she is. Well, I'm not falling for her, no. Nah. No, we're just good mates, yeah. Which is like, you look at it and you think, fuck, hell, jeez. It's like, it's like, again, no wish works out for 90s, really. But she's great. Obviously, probably get lucky anyway. Been a few happens, of course. She's the one who basically shagged Adam on the 23rd anyway. Took her back to her room anyway. She had a few. I think she had another one as well. She had a one stay with someone in Blackpool with Gary and his boyfriend Sean apparently. And got upset about it. I don't know about Adam. I don't know, but there we go. But she's great. Met her at the Christmas do as well. We were just, again, clubbing as well, having a good time really, just enjoying ourselves really. Emma Harper is next. She comes from home. She worked in like petrol stations at the beginning actually, worked in Shell and stuff like that. She's wonderful. She is ever. Go on well with her. Worked for her a good number of times. She's wonderful. Has a good energy. Good innocent energy to her really. Means well. Has a good laugh. Very easy to laugh as well. Easy to have a good conversation with. She's wonderful. She is. Met her boyfriend Andy. Great guy. Fantastic guy. He's got a kid. He's got a kid from a previous relationship anyway. But he's a great guy. I met him on the Staff Leavers do it. I think that's the same last time I saw Emma as well. Really, but great couple they are. Emma's fantastic. Really good stuff. I have no problems for her. She's, working out. She's in Lonsdale now. She's working at a care home nearby. I forgot what it's called. I passed it before because I was looking for someone actually. Searching for someone actually. Or location of someone actually. But nice account. She's working there actually. Yeah, that's interesting. But she seems to be doing well, I think, But great person. Shame that she wasn't at the Christmas do. She might have been working, I don't know, or maybe she might have been out of her plans. Who knows? Really, but shame, really. Thought she might turn up or something. That'd be interesting. So she's great. Rachel Scott's next. Rachel, she came on board probably, I think, maybe a bit after I joined, 2017. Nervous, curly hair, sort of. She's in her own headspace, really, more like dedicated worker, does her own job, does jobs, has a reason to keep herself going. Really, she's good. She is. Never really worked with her really. Maybe a couple times towards the end, really, but I've helped her out a few times, sorting residents out, really, but I never really fully worked with her. Never had a shift partner job with her, really. So, that's different, really. So yeah, that's interesting. I think she was meant to be going to Christmas do as well, but she never turned up. Oh, she might come earlier. I don't know really. No idea really. So there we go. So that's something. Indeed, I really so much. I think last time I saw was my last day actually. So there we go. Next is Jeanette Laws. Jeanette was actually like Jess. Came on beforehand. She worked as a nurse beforehand, then left because I never worked with her until I think towards the end of last year. Last year, really, she really worked nice. I had a bit of chat with her. She's alright. She is. Never really got to know her really. So, like, if she was like for the whole period, like 5 year period when I was working, probably got to know her well, but like all the rest really. But not really. It's a bit of an interesting one. She's a bit of the odd one out to me, really. I think. Yeah, but she seemed nice anyway. Then we got Gabriella Cinco, Gabby. She started like in spring in 2017. I've always done mine, Gabby. Anyway, worked for a few times, of course. Can be a bit. I don't know really. It's like a bit of an odd thing, really. It's like has their own way of doing things. Really, people do. A lot of people do. If you work with someone, they always have their own reason, own visions on what their sort of style of care is really, like how we should work things. How we go work the shift, how we go sort these people out. We got the list. We should do first. Be organised. Maybe not be organised or disorganised. I don't know. Really, that was the sort of thing. But also recently, I found out this was when Trish was leaving. So that was in July as well. I think. July. Yeah, it would have been somewhere in July. Me, Gary, and Katie, and her went out after a late shift to get bloody pints with it, and takeaway afterwards, whatever. And she mentioned that she's a lesbian. And that was great. That was interesting. But like, oh, good for her. If she is, fair enough. And don't really mind. You know, if she's lesbian, that's absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with that. Obviously, she's in Lancaster now. Didn't appear, I thought she'd appear in the uh, Christmas party as well, but she never did actually, believe it or not, because she's close friends with Andrea, because they're both from the same country. Speaking of Andrea, she's next. Andrea Nita, or Andrea Corsko, I think her maiden name is. Yeah, she was one of the one of the other team leaders there, other seniors there. I always go with Andrea. She's a bit of she's the sort of, oh, what do you call it? The head, sort of the head person, the instigator for all stuff. Like she's the sort of main person who plans all these bloody this stuff and all this, this sort of stuff. She planned the Christmas party. She did. I was going with her anyway. I did lie to her sometimes. Trying to get out of shifts, like swapping shifts around because I had other ideas. Not really. I'm quite busy on appointments next. I used to lie to her really. I never do with the others really. Never with the others. Okay, like Emma and stuff. I do with Andrea sometimes. Sometimes a few people clash with her and they sort of left really. But there you go. It just depends on the. It depends how you know them really, that type of thing. But there we go. Indeed, she's great, and she's the sort of instigator, planning these sort of things. Reunion planner. She's doing all this sort of stuff. My God, obviously, I think she mentions there's going to be another Christmas do next year, but also there might be a picnic sort of thing as well. So she's got those planned ahead, of course. She's always pleasant. She was surprised that turned up actually because I originally turned it down really because I was due to work, but they weren't serious. My first impression was I would be kicked out and told to show off really, but no, I said I accepted. Enjoy yourself. Have a nice to see you. And basically everyone was having a good time, and we just went clubbing. We actually did, yeah. She joined as well. Indeed. The next one we got Shauna Wiggins. I think she'd been there before actually, and but Shauna's great, wonderful, means well. She's great. She used to work with Will's sister-in-law Dawn back in the day. She referenced her a couple of times really, and but she's great, wonderful, good energy. She has like this radiant quality to her, very caring quality to her. I don't know, like meaningfulness really. Has a good time as well. Have a good sense of humour as well. Always have a good time with Shauna as well. She means well. She's wonderful. Then we've got Lenka Masukova. She came in 2020, I think she is. She's from Czech Republic, she is. She was living in Elmos at the time, and yeah, she's always been all right, really. I've been on a few drinking sprees with her. But a bit sensitive, has a decent time, really. I think she was the one lap dance and unintentionally drunk lap dance too, really. Gary's filmed the bloody thing. He's probably still going somewhere. More likely. And yeah, so she's always been all right, really. Always gone with her. Gave her a couple of lifts, really. Because she lived outside. Try and give us a walk. I thought, Jesus Christ, I'm not going to walk in this way. You're in the dark. Might as well take you back or something like that. I've always gone well with Lenka. Last time I saw her was on the 27th of November at the Ship Inn, of course. Been a few drinks. I got her a glass of Chardonnay. I did actually, yeah. So yeah, she didn't come for the Christmas do. I thought she would. She got asked actually by Sophie because Andrea never asked her. I think she didn't know Andrea anyway, but she didn't know about it. She didn't know about this Christmas do until they told her. Really, it's like, oh, no one's mentioned this to me. Like I never got told about this, so she was sort of the odd one out really. But Sophie, I think Vienna, Kelly, and Gary told her, said you can come and join. Just it's for fun really. Same with me actually. Because originally I not meant to go actually. I wasn't intending to go. There we go. But she seems to be doing okay. She thinks she's trying around. I think she went back to home country, then came back again. Of course, met her in November. So I don't know. I'll probably see it maybe next year or something, like the New Year or something. Who knows? Gaz Jolly. Gaz. He's an absolute great guy, fantastic fella. Gay, loud and proud himself. Love pop music. He loves Britney, Pink, all this sort of stuff. Put out some Britney, Pink. Gives people a good time. Oh my God, he's one of those. And then bloody instigates me to do some weird stuff as well. He's lovable. He's a tall fellow as well, taller than me. Christ. When I first met him, my first impression was like, fucking hell, you are tall. Yes, fucking hell, mate. Not taller than me, tall, thin fella. Like, very tall fella. He's from Essex, he is, because he wanted to change up location, and he ended up loving the lakes, he did. He ended up going to Middlesbrough in the end, obviously, because Persia's no more, Hullhead's no more. Well, the home isn't, but the spirit's still living on, though, and all of us, we're still together at this point. Still hanging on thread, occasionally meet up. It's like, here we go. I know. So, but he's great, you know. Power lover, love her gym, really. thanks for a good gym. Him and Kelly are thick as thieves. They are, you know, good close. They are good friends. Indeed, that was something. Please spill my drink. Might pile over Sarah. Yeah, we was basically drunk. Magic bean syrup and tequila. We were at that point. Yeah, but he's great. Wonderful. Trying to haul a bloody water to a Stella's house. My God, I mean, that was my last day there, really, at Hullhead. And we ended up moving a bloody wardrobe. Me and Gaz and Stella's husband. Up the police stairs, we nearly got that. I was saying to her, actually, I mentioned it just like, you know, when I saw her last time. It's like, hey, there's a wardrobe. Oh, managed to get it done. Absolutely fine. You know, like, but Christ almighty. It was like bloody acting as an attractive husband anyway. So, yeah. It was good. He asked me if I'm joining him on the 27th of November. And I said, sure, yeah, of course, because he was leaving from Middlesbrough. He was actually ended up being lost because he ended up being kicked out. Him and Kelly, not sure what they did, but there we go. But he's great, you know, fantastic. A lot of energy he has. My God, you know, shows how a good time it is. But he's a fantastic fella. Bloody, he was the one who actually messaged me and actually was asking for a kebab and asked me to go to bloody Aphrodite's about 2 o'clock in the morning. And, you know, he can't remember a bloody thing what happened last night. So, yeah, big common nonce. So, that's one thing. But he's great. And I'll probably see him next year. I'll see him in the new year. Always will. Lauren Beswick is next. I think she's been there for a while, actually. I was surprised, actually. She's only a couple of years older than me, believe it or not. You know, I thought she'd be a bit older. I thought she'd like be, you know, late 20s, early 30s. No, she's only... What do you think? 26, 27 she is, my God. She's always good, she is, you know, like always has a point as well, she does, you know, like, well, she's one of those people who probably makes a point, sticks her, like, you know, gets straight to a point, really. She means well, she's good, you know, done it for years, but she has a reason, she has a solid reasoning, she does, really, indeed. But really good. Great person. A bit of what was it? I think that's for staff leave. Staff leaves due on 21st, 20th and 23rd. Didn't go on the 27th, and met her on Christmas Day, of course. But she seems to be doing okay. Really, I'm not sure what she does really, but these days, but doing well. Fantastic. Katie Connolly, Emma's Connolly's daughter, youngest daughter. Kate, first time I met her, she was Andrea's 29th. So that was the party when I was sober last year. That's the first time I met her. That's the first time we met her, actually. Emma brought her on. And then I think a month later, she ended up working for us. She was hired. She was. And just brought on, really. And yeah, it was interesting. She's great to work with. I worked for her most of the time, really. Good. I've always really, covered her back, really, most in some cases. In terms of nights out, I mean, what's the worst thing? I mean, a birthday, for instance, it was a birthday. That was a night out. She asked me out. She asked me if I would join her. Sure. So that was me, her, Lenka, Kelly, Emma, Harper, Chris, and Gary. And we just basically, I think it's me and the girls first, then Chris and Gary later came on. Later on, actually, in a bloody Spanish bar. We did, actually. Yeah, Spanish bar, drinking Estrella and all sorts, really. Came on. Obviously, she was the one who obviously had a bit of good action with the men, really. In the back alley, again, a bit of anal. Same again, and probably same with Rex as well, not sure, really. And, yeah, Is it interesting? She's quite pleased to see me actually. Interestingly, when I just rocked up at it, it's like, hey, good, and she give me a bleep, kept nagging me to vape, bloody, like a berry mist or something it was, you know. I mean, Gary tried to me a cigarette, so yeah, I did smoke briefly a couple of months ago, so yeah, there we go. But I've always liked Katie. She's always, always good. Always covering her skin, always covered her back of her skin, causing chaos on her birthday more likely than staff leavers do. I think she actually did taunt Trish. I think when drunk, I was like, put your head on the ground, bitch, that sort of thing. I think that's what she probably said when she was heavily drunk. I wasn't aware of that until I think Yvonne told me actually. Or Gaz, I don't know. Some people have. But she's great. Great she is. As that sort of youthfulness, she is. She was one of the youngest of the lot, really. Second youngest, I would say. But she's great, wonderful, indeed. Obviously drove me mad, really. She was the one who basically messaged me and keeping for the train station, that sort of thing. Basically looking after her, really. And that's bloody staff leavers do on 21st, fucking hell. Being instigated for you pick up Kelly, then, to look after, keep an eye on her, take the bleep, escort, keep an eye on her when she gets a purse at bleep college, then say, oh, we're going now to you, come with me. Come on. Oh, she's one of those who she takes you in a different direction, but she means well. She's nice. She is, gets around. Well, she's in a relationship anyway at the moment, but she did get around quite a bit, which I thought was, quite amusing. Like, wow. So yeah. Moving to the last few. Danny Cooper. She was like Danny and Mel. I'll probably put them two together. They're two stave lasses. They were the youngest of the bunch, really. They came on board. Danny, I've always gone Mel with actually, and same with Mel really. They were the youngest, of course, but they didn't stay too long very much because I think Mel left first. I think obviously some stuff was said actually. I think she said some quite offensive stuff. I don't know really, or something really happened really, and same with Danny. She followed on off as well really. I can't remember. She was honestly never returned really. Really, I think the last time I probably remember she would probably be just be working or going to vaccine. I don't know. I mean, sort of halfway through, we were closed. I think it was in the summer actually. I think, and then she left. I think, or I think it's spring. I don't know actually. I think maybe after the announcement that it was closing. I don't know. Still hazy on that one. Indeed, but I still don't know. Don't know what she's doing really. Same with Mel as well. Good singer, good voice, I have to admit, but she has that again because the young, they have there's that angst with them, that cheeky, rebellious angst with them. So there we go. Got Bogdan Nita, Andrea's husband, Andrea's boyfriend. First time I met him in 2017. Bit of an idiot sometimes. He's a nice guy, Bogdan. I always respect, don't mind it really. Has his own way as well when Andrea's in control. So he can be second in command really sometimes. Because I don't always really Bogdan, but I always get well with him. Really, he's good friends with Rod. Rod Raisin, caretaker as well. He's great. Shirley Afton as well. Wonderful. Heather Burkett, who's one of the head chefs, really great as well. Bogdan was actually. I know best with Katie was there. Danny, sort of with. Bogdan was there always because obviously Andrea really. Rod was there. Shirley wasn't there actually. As far as Shirley wasn't, because usually she's always there. Always have a good time. Really have a good, for the amazing time. Didn't turn up for the last two though. I don't think. For the 27th and this Christmas party we had. I don't know why. Unless she was busy, I don't know. Just maybe waxing. Unless Gary asked her, I don't know. Maybe I don't really know. Actually, I'm not sure the ins and outs really. What was really behind the scenes, what was really going on. I'm not too sure. Unless we were busy. Unless she had a job. I don't know. Yeah. So she wasn't there. Shirley, always great. She's known my dad for years. Used to be neighbours actually, believe it or not. Same with her sister Valerie, of course. Heather, always great. Means well, I've always given well Heather. Nothing wrong with her really. Yeah, she was there at Christmas doing it. Had a good time really. She's a supervisor as well actually, so she's gone up in the world really. So good for her. She was telling me that actually, but she's doing well. She seems just happy. She's just having a good time. We just had a good time. I think she went clubbing as well. She did. And the Goat's Head. Bogdan, of course, yeah, Andrea's husband. Indeed, yeah, absolutely seems like he's all right, but he's having good times. A couple of selfies I took with him as well. A couple of weird, odd drug selfies, really. But he means so always going with Bogdan, really. Nice one, of course. Can be a bit of a divisive person, really, sometimes, but he's okay. Emma Panks, she got from Preston, she did, and she's great. She is very bubbly, very sort of, again, means another caring person. Good friends with Gary, really. One of Gary's BFFs, really. Same with Kelly, maybe so with Dina as well. That sort of his little circle of friends, really. Emma, I've always liked. She's got a boyfriend, but I actually met him on the 21st. Told me not to sleep in my car, really, but she's been a nice man, really. So fair enough. So I met them both. That's the last time I saw Emma, actually, on the 21st. But she's seems to be doing okay, really. I'm not sure what she does, really, but it was nice seeing her again. She hasn't changed much. Same energy, same old caring, lovable energy she has. Wonderful. So yeah, that's that sort of list done. There's a few people I saw maybe an intervention as well. Jake and Renata, Czech Republic couple. They what was it? They only started for a year. 2017 started. I've gone well with Jake all the time. Renata, not as much really. Who his misses. What do you think? Well, Jake, a tall fella. Always kept losing his bleed jacket. I always think, where's my jacket? Where I put it? But where you put it last time? Where have you plunked it last time? Can you Also, I came his bleed walking dictionary sometimes. Like he didn't know what the word lukewarm was. Interestingly, yeah, it could be lukewarm. What's lukewarm? What does lukewarm mean? It's like really. But it's nice for always going well. And last time I met him, he was doing. I think he was doing something with Rick the physio as well. We had a few physios on the way around actually. Like there was Jan, there was Rick, and there was Emma as well. A few, and a few people there here and there. And someone called Katrina who was a bit. I had a mental condition, ripping her hair out. Won't say much more. I can't tell about Katrina really. Can't bother to. Can we see him? Can we say as much really? There we go. Who else? So Jacob Annetta. Well, I didn't work for Annetta as much really, but I think I could see she can be a bit arsey sometimes really. Jacob, I think he's pretty fun because I've worked with him a few times really, in a way. Last time I saw him actually, I was driving in town actually. He was working in Kendal actually, Kirkland View he was. But I thought he went to, but her and Annetta went to Edinburgh. So unless plans have changed, I don't know. Unless someone's fell through, I have no idea really. He used to be friends with on Facebook actually, but he sort of unless he doesn't do social media anymore. No, Annetta still does, really. Who else? A few people. There's a few people I saw, but been and went really. Obviously, I mentioned the Keystone people as well. I don't know who else. Like Ethel Mel was another one. I forgot the other name. What's the name? Oh bloody hell! Begins with A. Fuck. I don't know. Who else was there? Who else? There's a guy called Will who was sort of a bit hipster bloke, really. He didn't stay long, really, because he didn't do much work, really. I sort of helped him a little bit at the beginning, but only worked with people who sort of laid around busy watching Friends or busy laying it out, really, to be honest. He used to say groovy quite a lot, groovy man. I met him in town once. He sort of passed him in the playback. Now I'm like, how you doing, groovy man? Groovy, that sort of thing. Very sort of slick, very sort of type of fella, really. Very quite stylish. Don't know why he ended up working in. Nick, the caretaker, actually mentioned, like, apparently used to be used to work in social care, apparently, something like that. But for what we've seen, it doesn't seem exactly like that, unless he was bragging, making a white lie, really. But there we go. Obviously, Nick, the caretaker, brilliant. Same again with Jeff. Good caretakers anyway, so they're good. Yes. Who else? Richard. A guy from Leeds. He was living in Bowness at the time, actually. Living in a flat with his family, Craig. Richard was actually pretty good, actually, because he actually used to work where I work now, actually, in my current job. He used to work there. So, that was interesting. Interesting thing now, really. I haven't spoken to Richard for a while. I think I still have his number somewhere, or maybe it's an old number now, but I don't really know. But he had to leave, I mean, because Craig kicked him out. They actually left, really. Craig was more of a supermarket supervisor. He just Richard brought him on, like, I think, to such work, maybe for good pay, I don't know, really. But it wasn't really going for Craig, really. Also, I think another person I could probably mention is James Berlin, Jimmy Berlin. Jimmy, I've known for years. He's fantastic Scouse man, nuts, really. I met him a couple of months ago in Asda, actually. I just bumped into him in Asda, actually, with his missus, actually. Doing well, he's the same old Jim. I've known for years because he used to run a youth club, was, I think, his first wife, actually, I think. So he was a team leader. Then he got demoted to caretaker because of the stress, because obviously with the agency, really, it was that sort of thing, really. And it just became caretaker, but less stress on him, really, to be honest. I mean, he's in his 60s now, I think, in his 60s. But he's doing well, still spiraling. Working in kitchens at Lakeland, just like Dawson reports. Easy for him, 9 to 5 job, easy as pie. Does a couple of minutes walk for him, and it's like, makes it easy for him, really. Because I think he was meant to go like into independent care, but changed his mind, really. Changed his mind, that's sort of like a last minute thing, really, but there we go. So he's there. Elaine West, I actually still work with, actually. I'm the job I'm working now, she's one of the senior carers there, actually. So wonderful, still working with her. She's brilliant, fantastic. She is. She's wonderful, absolutely. Indeed. So still seeing each other, still work for each other, mostly on nights. Really have a good time, have a good decent laugh. So there we go. Who else? I might just talk about the rest of the agency, actually. Bicky Baby, fantastic fella, one of the people I met, like Indian Burt Reynolds, lovely, great guy, funny fella, brilliant. He was fantastic. He is, full of energy, childish sometimes, bit of an idiot sometimes, but he means well. He cares. He's funny. I've got energy. Again, that childish glee on him. God, he's funny. He's a family man, lives in Preston. He is great guy, demand fella, well-requested fella, and one of the best people agency I've actually worked with, really. Felix Roman is another one. Romanian as well, lives in Kendal. He stayed on for a couple of years. Then afterwards, I think he had enough. He did, and he did share. The thing was, people always show the frustrations to me. Really, they don't tell the care manager. They don't tell Judy or Emma. Really, they tell to me about it. Really, so I had to be dealing with all these people like you moaning about these people, that sort of thing. And it's like rubbish sorts of stuff, really. And it's all been a bad taste for him. He's all left, really, because of pay very much, really. There we go, really. I think maybe with Andrew and Bogdan sort of clashing, really. There was something like that, really. He was talking to me at the beginning of the year. Then beginning of 2020, actually. And he sort of left afterwards, he did. So I met Andrea, really, and Bogdan. Really. So there's been like a major clash going there. His wife, Mirabella, oh my God. First time I worked with her, she was absolute. Didn't go off the wrong foot with her, my God. Really. Didn't go with her at all. I think we sort of settled a bit afterwards, but then she left, actually. She's more into her beauty type side of things, really, but there we go. Just didn't get on well with her, unfortunately. Who else? Relu Liani, or Relu, it's called Relu, or Relu. He was one of the other agencies who'd been there for quite a bit. Romania as well. Bit arrogant he was. I have to admit, he had his own way. Can be a bit of a bossy prick sometimes. I always didn't mind him, really. He had his own way of doing things, really. Had a bit of incident, that was his fault, really. Ended up getting blame as well. So that was his doing. Still remember that. I didn't give him lifts a few times, of course. Pleasant man. He went to Romania. I think this is before the pandemic, and he'd been stuck. He's working on a farming, his family business involving farming, really. So he hasn't really returned. So he'll be there for now. He'll be there forever. He hasn't stepped on British soil for a year now. Just helping out doing his family stuff, really. So there we go. I think he was meant to come back, actually, but stayed, really. There we go. Who else? Sheikh Mohammed, or Mo, we call him, great guy. He's brilliant. Very, again, sort of tall, slim fella as well. Brilliant guy, fantastic carer he is. Means well, always go well, Mo. absolutely worked with him a good number of times. Me as well. That's good. Moffy as well, brilliant, fantastic. There's Bilal, worked with Siraj, who actually I met at the start. Smithesh, who else? Abdul. Oh, Abdul. Oh, he was something. He was. Very into cricket, but also he's about to see those very good cricketer. Wrestling's maybe some stuff, and most of the rest is like, that's bullshit. That is. That's like a lot of nonsense you are. Yeah, great guy. He's becoming down now, so good for him actually. So he's done pretty well for himself. I haven't seen him for a long time, but he was again great guy to work with, a good sense of humour as well. I'm friends on Facebook still. I am. A lot of people, yeah. There was who else? Samita. She's great, very intelligent. She worked in television actually for Sky actually briefly, like course or something. Worked in media. She had the idea of doing a documentary actually, like do getting equipment and come together, maybe do interviews and stuff like that. She talked about me, talked to me about that. I'm doing a break one time, like during the time when the closure was saying in really. And I thought that'd be a good idea, but never went through. And she does work more behind post production, more behind the scenes stuff really. To be honest, that's more of a thing really. Helena, Jason, wonderful. She's fantastic. Caring, means well. Laura liked her. She just brilliant she is. My God. Means well, caring, has a good time, very innocent, just lovely she is. And say about Helena, just about all the most positive things ever, really. She's as wonderful she is. Fantastic. Who else? Who else can I think of? Tracy Woolley, from Burnley, single mum, really. It's all middle age, going well with her, actually. Always had a good time for her. Didn't agree with Andrea, actually, clashed with Andrea, really. Really, that's all main thing. And Judy as well. And she mentioned about this whole probation thing as well, actually. And she just told me about it. And usually I keep stuff secret. That's the main thing with people. I know about this stuff because as long as you don't tell anyone, Mike, you're fine. At least you're good. Yeah, you're going to keep it secrets. That's why I'm sort of a scapegoat this sort of thing, really, for many people, more than quite a lot of people. Yep. So, but she was great. She was great fun. But great to be around. Good energy. But again, clashing with the higher ups, really, seniors as well. Didn't work out. So she left anyway. I'm still friends on Facebook still. Anyway, still. Nikita Taylor is another one. Nikita, same age as me. Greg Watson's partner. I didn't realise that until actually wait, what? So she's in a relationship with Greg Watson. So it's his partner. That's interesting. It's all about this actually. She's got a daughter now, Nala. They seem to be doing well. Lovely. She often says that Greg's always been asking after me, saying how I'm doing, that sort of thing. That's good. She's great. She is Nikita. Headstrong she is. Very sort of takes no force, takes no shit for anyone. But gonna laugh as well. She's only stayed for a year. She only stayed for a year and a half, I think, roughly. Then she left, of course. Same time as Laura, actually, my cousin, as well. So around that time, really, when the staffing thing got a bit bad out of hand, really. And there we go. Who else can I think of? Anybody else? Margaret Robertson, obviously, a Scottish woman, very into meditation. She was, very into yoga, meditation, very sort of spiritual but loving as well. She's fantastic. She was great. She only worked for a year. She went back home because of her husband. She was living in the cottage at the time, really, and obviously, went back to Scotland to live with her, husband, really, to spend more time, really. But she was wonderful. She was brilliant, fantastic. Jim Malloy, Silver Fox, or David Byrne, I sort of refer him as, really. I like to call him as. It was good. He didn't stay long though. When I joined, he was leaving. I think he was there for a couple. I was working for a couple of months, maybe a few months, and then he left. Shame, really. But sort of like a well-known person. Sarah Wood as well. She left as well. Jordan Smith. I forgot to mention Jordan. Lovely guy. American. His dad's American. His mum's from around the Lake District, so she's local. She is. West Virginia, from that neck of woods he's from. Really, he's back there anyway, on home turf, on American soil. Doing well, doing for his caring stuff, showing his heart, his passion, of course. That sort of thing, really. Lovely guy, fantastic fella. He means well, he's got full of heart. He's a brilliant fella, wonderful man. I enjoy working with him. Brilliant guide, especially, getting to know him when I first joined, actually. Brilliant fella. Wonderful. Yeah. Obviously, I think I met him maybe a couple of years ago. He did have a a little video call when we had the village in May this year. So, well, last year actually. I keep saying this is going out next year. This is. So yeah, that was something. At least he's doing okay. He's doing well. Wonderful. Who else? So there was Becky Gabden as well. She was the good friend of Andrea. She's well known, good friends with Laura as well. Receptionist and occasional nurse. Well, when I first joined, she was a nurse. Then she just became receptionist as well. Full of energy. She's wonderful. She means well. Becky, full of heart. Brilliant she is. That's good. And also, I met her husband, was it Keaton? Her husband? Only that one time last year, actually. It's alright. Not bad. But Becky's great. Absolutely. What else, really? I think. Chris McBride, head chef, bit of a controversial person, really. Most of the kids stuff didn't get on him well. So did Christine Valley and Heather sometimes. They can find it a bit infuriating, really, sometimes. He actually did tell it when his wife had that cat fight. He actually I haven't told me this actually, and he said, he came the next day, pissed off, where's the phone and everything else, and he basically went actually, and just walked off, never came back. So he walked out. So really, I mean, the last time I saw Chris was 21st on that night, and he came here bloody shite did. Cheers, Chris. Thank you, mate. Never mind. But I don't know what he's doing now. He'll probably do something else, unless he's doing something kind of completely different. No, I think he's going to do head chefs, really, but somewhere else. Jeff, Faye, one of the caretakers, she was at the Christmas do as well, and there's decent chat. Seems to be doing okay, enjoying a wine, having a good time. She was in good spirits as well. Julie Winborn, another nurse, wonderful as well, kind, caring as well. Met her as well, Christmas do as well. Brad, Steve, crazy Scottish agency nurse, bloody hell, insane, crazy, wonderful. He's just mad as a box of frogs. He is. Met him at Christmas do as well. Had a good drink. He actually got me a pint. He did. Wonderful man. Great fella. Probably see him again at some point next year as well, New Year. Yeah, but great guy. Very funny, good sense of humour. Just mad he is. Oh, boy's wonderful. Great nurse to work with. Who else? Think at the top of my head. Debbie Miller. Oh, South African woman. God. When I first joined, Debbie was there anyway. She'd been there for a year, I think. Bit control. I think she's one of the people I'd probably like to at least see again, really, in a way. I mean, I'll probably talk to her, of course. She may be pleasant, of course, but I had a let's say, tumultuous rock experience with her, really. Bit of a control freak. Very much, on the ball, that type of thing. Very, gives you the pressure she does, really. Has that sort of like weird bobbish look she does, really. There's like wind, hates wind, because in a town she grew up in South Africa, it was basically wind constantly. So she has a phobia of just because it hates wind, really. So she left halfway through 2017 anyway. She got a job like a deputy manager in a few different places, like in Kirkland View, somewhere in Dalton, of course. Now she's gone back in Manchester because her family up down there. She come from Manchester originally, where family and daughters are based down there. I just don't know. Last time I saw it was a couple of years ago when Jimmy was announcing his retirement from senior carer, really, and she was there. Saw met her briefly. Just a high, really. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't really get on well there. I think some people don't really know because you're trying to be like a boss, really, like be in control, really. And some people probably just complain like, really, that sort of thing. God, indeed. Jonathan Brockliffe, I've got to mention, brilliant guy. Like another good guy as well. Part-time paramedic he is. Wonderful. Has a good sense of humour as well. He's funny. Shame that he left. But yeah, various reasons, of course, really. Nicola Elston. I forgot to mention her. God, she was there at Christmas do as well. Had a good time, had a good dance, good drink. We did. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful ball energy. Has that crazy. She's got this crazy level of energy. She does, and she means what she does. She served in the Navy. She did a good number of years. She's an occupational therapist now. She's done well. Done quite a lot. She is. Dated. Last time I saw her before the Christmas do, she was with a guy called Chris, who was a soldier, served in Iraq and whatnot. Suffered PTSD. So since separated, I didn't know this. I haven't seen Nikki for months, really. So there we go. So now you, Chris, is not together anymore. Sorry to hear that. But it's understandable. Happens, really. I mean, soldier PTSD, I can imagine, really. But there we go. But she seems to be doing okay. Wonderful. Just had a good time. We were clubbing as well, weren't we? Indeed, yeah. Well, yeah, just thinking on top of my head now. Yeah, so yeah. Nick Ralston, yeah. I think that's everyone. Yeah, I think that's everyone. I really covered. I think I've covered really everyone. Anne Bullington, secretary, more like really. She's always been pleasant. Alan Barton, a bit decisive, really. I think the one thing that sort of took me the wrong way with him was that he knew about the closure for 18 months since end of 2019, but he didn't tell anyone until 20. I think it was sort of mentioned really. Apparently, like he knew about this longer, really, and it's like we didn't want to make the news because we were working in the pandemic in 2020, and I just don't know. He's been a bit of a decisive fella, and his wife stood him up on the leavers on the 23rd anyway. So yeah, so try and maybe embarrass him or something. Something. That was good. Uh, that is everyone. I've literally covered everyone, haven't I? I have done, yes. Have I? Natalie. Oh, yes, Natalie as well. She briefly appeared. I don't know what happened to her, really. But when I first joined, there was a girl called Natalie, frizzy hair. She seemed nice, very pleasant, very kind, has a nasal voice, really. But she left late. I think she left soon after. I don't know what happened to her, really. But I don't know where she's gone. She was one of the first people I saw met, really, when I first joined All Red, really. One of the few people. Rod as well. First met him first. Jimmy. Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else can I think of? Charlotte. Charlotte Wood. I think Woodbridge or Charlotte. Yeah. Again, she left early as well, 2017, and something like Jim, Sarah, and yeah. But she seemed very friendly actually. Go on with her. Go on for her this week. She's one of the people I've gone well with. Maybe people like Sarah as well. Jordan, yeah. So like that old guard, really. It's all gone down, really. You also got a few activists like Barbara and David, Russell, great, nice, pleasant people they are. Catherine, American. I didn't really go on with Catherine really, to be honest. I mean, didn't see eye to eye. I only gone, chat a little bit really, but didn't really see much, really, much of the activities. Got Wendy as well and Lindsay. Those sort of the recent ones. We had the last two really to do that. Really, they're okay. They were, to be honest. That is it, I think. Oh, there's Sam as well, Sam Pilkington. He did a lot of bloody what was it? Athletics. He was a teacher, I think, at one point from down London. He lived down south. He did. Lived in a bloody flat with no windows or anything like that. And he was sort of medically depressed, a rough breakup or something else. And ended up going to the lakes. He did. Ended up working in Ambleside for a bit, of course, doing the canoes and the sort of thing. I was a bit hard. Ended up going working here. Ended up working most of the time. He's always been all right, Sam, really, but he sort of didn't continue it on really, and he sort of gave up. I didn't know this actually. It's like, where's Sam at anyway? Because I used to give him lifts sometimes anyway. Sometimes. I don't know really. So he's left actually. Oh, I didn't know he didn't tell me about this. It's interesting actually because last time I spoke to him, I dropped him off at it, and he said, "Okay, you never mentioned about leaving or anything." It's not until the other staff members told me about that. It's like, Sam, you usually do the lifts too. Yeah, left. Has he? Oh, shame actually. What's his name? Sam Pilchard. I think something. Yeah, something like that surname. I think. Yeah. Yeah. Bit strange actually. That he decided to leave it. No reason. I'm not sure the reason why he signed off. Really, I don't know. What was in his bag? I don't know. But it's good crack, it was. Most of the people I've met had a good time, really. I've, worked with perfectly. There's a few people, Mirabella, Debbie Miller, that sort of, maybe I met her as well. I think those are the ones I didn't really see to try, really, to be honest. But it was good. So that's the sort of rundown of Hold Head, really. Still going on, reunions galore, and it's getting late. It is, so I'm going to have to wrap this up. So this is the last bit, of course. So indeed, so we finish off with the Whole Head lot, of course. Still going on. Same with Primary and my friends at Primary, of course. We're still going on strong. Same with this lot, of course. The Mill 2, they're done, finished, they are. But these two book on with a lot of good hope and continue memories, continue with the future, really. So there we go. So I've done everything. I've done the whole pantheon of people, a lot of people to get through the whole thing, stuff as well. It was, again, wild times, of course. There's always, madness, dressing in drag, dressing in people's clothes, water fights, booze, tons of it, partying, insanity, and love as well. Heart, and looking out for each other, really. We are a family, we are, to be honest. I think I mentioned this before, and people maybe have said this like in drunken speeches, that we are a family. We are indeed. We always looked out for each other. Probably still do most of the time, wherever we're scattered around, really. But there'll come points when we all come together. Well, most of us will come together. Quite a lot of us will come together and enjoy a good time, and keep looking for the future. It's like a constant thing. It's like we're going to, this is going to be like maybe do this like twice a year or something. It's going to be the norm now. This is so. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But we'll see how it goes anyway. But it's going to be that's continuing, and it's little special, like it's in its little doses. Not as fully as this year. In little doses from 22 onward. It'll be in small doses, which is going to be fine. More easy on the liver. I would say more easy on our headspace and everything else, really. But it's going to be good. Fantastic. Right. Thank you for watching the Epochs. This is the final chapter, and that's it. Thank you, guys. This has got the longest one because there's a lot of stuff to talk about in this one. I say the best thing for last, really. More the puzzle stuff, so there we go. But, yeah. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you later.